with domestic promotion in their respective league. They're a club on the up, and Scremerston looking very good. And of course, Fort Matilda is the stop on the central line if you make your way to Greenock and watch some rugby, and I've been there in the past. I've also watched Greenock Wanderers, incidentally, Connor, down in Duns back in the mid-2000s in a 0-0 draw against Duns.
Mid-2000s, I probably wasn't that old then.
Berwick then make their way onto the field of play, followed by Greenock Wanderers, and Greenock in their yellow, black and red jerseys with the white numbers. Berwick in their dark jerseys, dark shorts and socks with the white numbers on the backs. And this is a huge occasion for these players. And Connor, you're going back to that point. I don't imagine it's going to be a 0-0 game after 80 minutes here.
Hopefully. I think the weather's a bit better than it must have been back then. And also, speaking of early 2000s, I wasn't that old then, but luckily I'm able to see this game now.
Yeah, I remember that day quite clearly, and that a lot of occasions the ball was cleared from hand and would end in the first fairway of the golf course. It was blowing a gale. So we get underway here, and Graham Hogg will get us underway. Of course, brother of Stuart Hogg and a former Hoyk man, a very experienced Hoyk Sevens player, of course. And Graham Hogg, the older brother of Stuart, well, certainly looking forward to this occasion with family here supporting him and his newly adopted club Greenock. Here we go then. The Shield final between Greenock and Berwick gets underway. Our match referee Gordy Reid, with Fergus Hollins and Alan Parry his officials. Graham Hogg then kicks off. Berwick, if you know your geography, are playing towards the posts to the north stand and already knocking on, and that's a disappointing start from a Berwick point of view, Connor.
Yeah, knock on first minute of the game is probably not how Berwick look at the start. I'm not sure if that's the nerves or just good pressure from Greenock, but a scrum in their own 22 is not necessarily the field position they want to have at the start of the game.
Andrew McDougall is their starting scrum half with Graham Hogg alongside him.
This will be an interesting battle to see which front row steps up first and looks to seek that dominance in the scrum. Obviously, big packs, if you can get a foothold in that scrum, it will give them a real advantage going into this game.
Absolutely, an early scrummage then inside the opening minute of the game. Wanderers feeding the ball into the scrum, but our match referee Gordy Reid not satisfied with that. So the 9 and 10, as I mentioned, for Greenock, they've got Hogg and McDowell. McDowell the scrum half, the 9 and 10 for Berwick. Jack Webster is the fly half with Cameron Rogerson the scrum half. Rogerson just to the right of the picture, and just in shade at the moment is the relatively tall figure of Andrew McDougall. Just squats down, feeds the ball in, picks the ball up then at the base of the scrum, on towards Hogg. Wanderers are already on the charge. Harrison just takes it up into the edge of that 22, and McDougall again just recycles his ball. Forwards come in, these red, yellow and black jerseys just grouping together now as the Wanderers getting closer towards that 5 metre line. They're quite central at the moment. Hogg with that little pop pass out towards the left hand side, with pace down the left hand side with Cleary as the starting right winger and Belly as the left winger, and it's brought back in field. So just looking to see that Bellew looks as if he's starting on this right hand side. So they've got the 14 on the left and the 11 on the right. It's still Wanderers in possession at the moment in bright sunshine at BT Murrayfield. The opening minutes of the Shield final, taking the ball into contact situation there. They've been penalised, and it's a relief for Berwick, having knocked on so early, Connor. They've a chance now to exit from the 22. Yeah,
great defence. The back row will be very pleased with that, isolating the ball in the floor and then turning it over with a good Jacko steal. I think it's obvious to see that Greenock are looking to play. Nice expansive rugby. Graham Hogg looking to distribute well, and you can see the wingers holding the width very well, and they're looking to play on the outside of Berwick.
Ball played downfield there by Andrew Skeen, of course, who's played here for Melrose in past cup finals, and Andrew Skeen back with his hometown club of Berwick. Of course, he's a well-known figure with Watsonians in the Sevens game, and he was down at the Berwick Sevens final playing for Berwick and playing for Watsonians at the weekend. And of course he's also played over in Italy with Milan and with Rome in the past. Skeen with those bright yellow boots down the left hand side. Berwick now looking through Dalrymple. He's caught though, some good cover defence there. The two centres linking up well, McGrotty and Harrison just closing the door as Berwick tried to scamper down the left hand side, but they could go no further than that 10-metre line. Quick throw in taken, and it's back towards McDougall. Back infield, some solid Wanderers players looking for an early touch on the ball, but it's turned over the ball. The referee though not allowing play to continue there, and Berwick thought they perhaps had half a chance of escaping the attentions of the referee, but nothing doing on this occasion.
Greenock definitely looked to be trying to play with a real intent here. I think they might have looked at the game to see they're the fitter of the teams, and definitely with the quick tempo they took that line out, and the ambition to just take it straight to Berwick. I think that they're going to try and really play with a real intensity and pace this game.
Andrew Skeen, of course, an ex-Scotland Sevens internationalist as well. But it's Graham Hogg, who of course last Saturday would take great interest in his hometown club of Hawick. They had their Sevens last weekend, so Hogg then inside the opening 5 minutes. Just having a look. A pitch his brother knows so well, but it's Graham Hogg's occasion this afternoon. Just going through the pre-kick routine. Graham Hogg then the fly half for Greenock. No score at the moment, but this would give Wanderers an early advantage. A hush around BT Murrayfield. He's certainly clipped that nicely. It's off the post and over, and that's an excellent start for Graham Hogg and for Greenock Wanderers. They lead by 3 points to 0.
Penalty for Greenock Wanderers, scored by number 10, Graham Hogg.
Great kick. That's just the start that Greenock will definitely look to get into that. Get into this game. Now to see how Berwick will respond to that.
Jack Webster on towards Andrew Skeen there. Webster just taking instructions from the experienced Skeen. Skeen now 35 years old. We mentioned he played abroad a bit in Italy about 10 years ago now, but also played here in a titanic final between Ayr and Melrose. Ayr winning in added time at the end of extra time. And Andrew Skeen, plenty of success with Melrose, but he's with Berwick now, and it's Berwick on possession just at the moment, just short off halfway. They look to Rogerson to ship the ball towards that right hand side, and out there Tommy McCall offering his services. It's carried over halfway. Rogerson again in possession and in position to feed the ball in towards Jackson, the tight head prop. Berwick trying to find some room down centre field there, but just running into Wanderers jerseys as Hogg tries to direct operations. Skeen again, bright yellow boots on towards the fullback Hindhaugh, where he's caught. Good solid Wanderers challenge, and behind him is Rogerson. Rogerson on there towards Webster, the fly half. He'll learn from the experienced Berwick players in that squad. Out towards the right hand side again, through the hands of the got Ryan Wilson. On the right hand side is Gareth Hill. Chip kick here from Hill, but the referee just bringing play back for an earlier infringement. And Gareth Hill, we mentioned Berwick, he was part of the ball boy, the group of ball boys that were with Berwick, and I think he was a mascot as well. In fact, back in 1998 he was part of the team that won the Shield in 2004, and here he is again in 2019, so he's been a real stalwart for the Berwick side.
Berwick did very well in that last passage of play. Looked to hold the ball for multiple phases, and they just got unlucky with a bit of indiscipline at the end. But it's interesting to see that both sides are looking to play with a real intent and enthusiasm to this game. They're not necessarily taking on the big occasion and trying to play all conservative. They're looking to play the expansive rugby that's an enjoyment to see.
Two nines together, and it's McDougall that feeds the ball in for the Wanderers. The Berwick have stolen it, but the referee though thinks otherwise, so it's going to be another set play, and you did mention, Connor, the importance of the scrummages. We had one inside the first minute. There's going to be an intriguing battle between these two sets of forwards.
Yeah, I think so. Both teams will definitely look to assert their dominance in the scrum. It's a real weapon to have. Obviously, if you win the scrum, you'll have the majority of set-piece ball, and Berwick will look to have dangerous backs such as Skeen, who will look to do damage in that open play. But without that scrum, they won't be able to achieve that.
Skeen alongside Duncan Hardy in that midfield, while McGroarty and Harrison are the midfield, with McCarran the full-back for Greenock Wanderers. It's spilled and a little bit untidy, and Hogg is caught in almost a bear hug there. The Berwick jerseys swarming in, and the Hoyt man now a Wanderers man. And down this left hand side is the Wanderers watch at the moment. There, Berwick looking to again try and take a quick one through Jamie Pick, who was part of the Berwick 7 squad. Wanderers penalised, and discipline's going to be so important today in a game of this magnitude.
Oh, definitely. I think the team who has the less mistakes will definitely go on to be favourites to win. Berwick will look to kick to the corner and get their set piece game going. We all know they've got a dangerous set piece, so if they manage to put this far in the corner, it looks like they could be in the chance of scoring early on.
Steen pops one down inside that 22. The throw-in's going to be more or less right on that 22 metre line, so a safe exit there, and it sets up the throw-in. Ryan Wilson, the Berwick hooker, tall frame again, ball right above the head. Watching the ball sail in there, it was over the head there of Mason Emery, who was the highest jumper for Berwick, but it comes again through the hands. Berwick couldn't quite find Duncan Hardy on this occasion, a little bit untidy and messy, and the Wanderers now trying to escape the attentions. Brad Cleary is up, and Cleary was able now. Cleary takes it forward. Cleary now over the scrum half on his head, taking it up towards that 10 metre line. Again, McDougall pass infield. McDougall again will be called upon, I would imagine, just to ship this to the left hand side, on towards Hogg. Once again, good interchange in passing. McGroarty and Harrison looking to try and be a threat in the middle of the park. Back towards McDougall again, and here's some options. Pod of 2, soon to become 3, trying to control things for Wanderers as they encroach into Berwick territory again. And these red, yellow and black jerseys with the white numbers on the back, and again McDougall plenty of touches for him on the ball. Murray McDonald, loose head prop. Declan Bolster is their hooker, and Andrew Graham making up the front row as Hogg again tackled and topples to the ground, is short of the 22. It's recycled, and the Wanderers still in the attack. Berwick just operating a sort of mobile walking defence at the moment, as Wanderers have got pace to inject into the game, but nothing doing for them just at the moment. Once again, McDougall, the scrum half, taking the ball ever closer towards that 22. Took his eyes on it just slightly there. Knocked on. Berwick have the advantage. And the black jerseys of Berwick on towards Andrew Skeen. Skeen plants one down central and is gathered there by McCarran. McCarran now. This is Chris McCarran, the fullback for Greenock Wanderers. And he's toppled just inside the Berwick half of the field. Wanderers pick and go again, showing great determination. Once more, the block challenge comes in this time from Scott Owens of Berwick. Recycled. Hogg, he plants a grubber kick. That's an intelligent kick there from Graham Hogg. That finds touch deep inside Berwick 22 territory. There's a Berwick player down there. I think it could well be Andrew Skeen, in fact.
That'll be a real loss for Berwick there. Somewhat
distinct by the yellow boots. He's back on his field, back on his feet and on the field, and it's a 3-0 game to Greenock Wanderers at the moment, but Berwick showing signs that defensively they're quite strong. Wanderers maybe the more likely to really cause a bit of an upset here, but the line out is secured by Berwick, and they're able to gather possession and get it ever closer towards the edge of the 22. And the referee signalled the Berwick infringement. Andrew Skeen's down again, and he's got problems with his right hip.
Looks like he's just stretching off his back.
a back injury. Yeah, there he is. There's Andrew Skeen in our picture just now. I think he's 35 years old now. But stoppage in play here. We've already played 12 and a half minutes and Wanderers lead 3-0. What have you made of the opening stages?
Well, I think Wanderers have definitely come into the game on top. They'll be really happy with that last passage of play, soaking up the Berwick defensive pressure. And then Graham Hoggs looked to put a good kick into the corner, which they've turned over the Berwick line out. They've definitely looked to play expansive, and although the Berwick defence has held up pretty strongly so far, I think there has been a few line breaks which later into the game will probably turn into try opportunities.
Yeah, you're right, there's an injury to the back. Just getting a bit of the magic spray, because he'll certainly, having continued playing into his mid-30s, will want to be part of this occasion, however it falls for Berwick. And of course Greenock, we mentioned themselves, runners-up in the Bowl in 2005, and 5 years later beaten finalists in the Shield, so they'll want to try and arrest those two defeats with victory here this afternoon. Scrummage here for Greenock Wanderers then. Andrew McDougall in your picture centre with the ball in hand. Alongside him is the match referee Gordy Reid, and the Berwick scrum half Cameron Rogerson. Big day for Berwick Rangers Football Club as well this afternoon against Albion Rovers in the lower reaches of Scottish League 2. The rugby club in Berwick doing incredibly well, for the football club really under a state of flux at the moment. Hogg escapes the initial attentions of the Berwick defence. Skeen slows him up though, and again recycled here by McDougall out towards this right hand side. Wanderers now beginning to threaten. McDougall again goes in, has a look to his right hand side. He's got 3 men across here. They're getting closer towards this try line. It's going to come back in field though, and it's the scrum half, tries to go alone. Hindhall with a good solid challenge there on McDougall. Recycled now, the pod of 3 gather and look to try and plunder and break this Berwick defence. Another pod of 3, another Wanderers attack, another line of Berwick defence remains solid at the moment. Connor Boyle and I watching on from our commentary position as Wanderers are pressing deep inside the Berwick 22. Hogg out towards through the midfield, a 2-on-1 situation opening up here, and Wanderers are going to be in for the try. The opening score for Greenock Wanderers coming 14 minutes into the first half, and a magic score here, just using the full width of the pitch to good effect. Connor, opening try, and the Wanderers are leading by 8 points to 0, and it's the left winger Scott Bellew with the opening try of the game.
Real smart play there from Greenock. They just worked round the corner, sucked in the defenders, and when the space opened, Graham Hogg put the pass wide, and they managed to score in the corner.
2-1 situation. Bellew just waited his time, and then he crossed the line there. Gareth Hill just couldn't stop him. Berwick 0, Greenock Wanderers 8. Almost 15 minutes of the game gone. Hogg just taking a quick drink there before he'll place the ball on the tee. Of course, with a very closely fought game in the final of the Bowl, Aberdeenshire winning 34 points to 31. And there's Hogg on the angle. This is a tricky one, Connor, that's for sure.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be making any from there. It's interesting to see Andrew Skeen's down again in the dead ball area.
Yeah, Skeen clearly has problems with his lower back. Hogg very much focusing on this important kick, with the Wanderers leading here by 8 points to 0. Scott Bellew with the try. An early penalty from Graham Hogg. Can Hogg add the extra 2 points from out wide? A lofted angled kick off the uprights. Oh, unlucky. Hogg was very unlucky there. 8-0 Wanderers lead.
Fine margins in that one. He's just grazed the left upright, and it's bounced back into play.
There's another shot of the kick there, and that's how close it was. Back it comes off that left hand post. And Hogg there, well, he's seen it and done it in the club game and in the Sevens game, but he'll certainly be enjoying back at the National Stadium, that's for sure. Andrew Skeen back to his feet though, so he's going to play on, Connor.
Yeah, it must be those bright young boots.
He was sporting them at the Sevens last weekend as well. And Berwick. So Berwick looking to respond now, trailing by 8 points to 0. Early Wanderers try and a penalty. And that rather unorthodox challenge across on the far side, Connor.
Yeah, he's not even looked at the ball there, he's just gone to take the man in the air. Surprised we saw a couple yellow cards for those incidents in the first game, but it gives Berwick the opportunity to try and get back on the scoreboard here.
See what Berwick opt to do here as Skeen goes over. Here's a replay of the collision. And as you say, it was took his eyes off it certainly, and the Berwick player colliding with Brad Cleary. And it comes back Wanderers then from almost their own try line, happy to run it. That seemed a little high, the challenge coming in there. And Berwick not certainly wanting to take too many risks, even at this early stage in the game.
Yeah, Brad Cleary is not the tallest of men, so it is obviously difficult to get low on him, but you've got to do better than that, and it gives Greenock Wanderers an easy out.
Jamie Pick, the Berwick player, conceding the penalty, and Hogg slices that one somewhat, and it comes down the Berwick right hand side. Berwick just short of that Wanderers 22, trailing by 8 points to 0. And we've played just under 18 minutes of the game here. Skeen gets a little touch, chip kick there, almost a pitching wedge from Skeen there. And again the referee is signalling he's coming back for, I think, an earlier decision. Just looking to see what call he's going to make. Connor, what did you make of that? The little chip kick and break from Skeen, but all eyes on Gordy Reid just to see what he's going to do here.
Yeah, unsure what that last one was for. I think an infringement of the ruck maybe, but that passage of play has just come from two missed kicks. I'm not sure whether that's the nerves or just poor execution, but they're giving each other chances to really attack and go for points.
Skeen again then. Berwick just playing a patient game, trailing by those 8 points. And Skeen just a delicate kick, short of the 5 metre line, but not by much. They're throwing here for Berwick down the left hand side, and Ryan Wilson, important throw for Wilson. There he is, figure tall with the ball just above his head, just in the corner of your screen. Ryan Wilson floats the ball in, won very well there by Scott Owens, and Berwick looking to try and get some forward momentum as Owen comes crashing to the ground there. Rogerson in behind. Berwick now get a bit of a charge on here, directed there by the scrum half Rogerson. On the angle there is Jamie Pick, number 7. You can see that in there is Ryan Wilson again, comes now towards Rogerson. Skeen perhaps a little decoy here out towards the left hand side. Dalrymple was in a bit of space. Dalrymple now is able to gather, but Wanderers have been able to close in. Dalrymple has scored a wonderful try though. Good secured possession of the ball in his right hand, and it's Jack Dalrymple with the try. Almost 20 minutes of the game gone, and Berwick responds, and that's an excellent executed score from Dalrymple from that set play. Berwick 5, Wanderers 8.
Great finish there from the winger. He looked like he had 2 men in front of him. He just steps inside and then steps back out and reaches for the line, and Berwick are on the board.
And Skeen will be tasked with adding the extra 2 points. So 8-5 is the scoreline. And we've played now the 20 minutes here. It's been a quick opening 20 minutes under bright blue skies here at BT Murrayfield, the National Stadium. The second instalment of this wonderful afternoon and early evening of club rugby here at Silver Saturday. Great spectacle. And spectators will be making their way in, I'm sure, all afternoon for the games that will follow, including the cup final between Heriots and Ayr. But Andrew Skeen and Berwick looking to close the gap on Greenock Wanderers. Skeen is wide of the uprights there, so it remains Berwick 5, Wanderers 8, but Berwick have got a foothold in the tie now.
Yeah, Andrew Skeen won't be very happy with that kick, but he'll be happy that they're back in the game, and Berwick looking to work on the scores that have just scored there. So hopefully they can get themselves back up the pitch and look to build.
You can see that Wanderers have made a replacement. I can see Andrew Guthrie has come on the field to play. Just get confirmation of who is coming off here. I think Brad Cleary has come off, and Andrew Guthrie is the player on. So Cleary's had a bit of a torrid opening 21 minutes. We might see him again though towards the end of the contest. From the restart, Berwick then gather the ball in, now trying to work it down their right hand side, short of what you can see is the staggered 10-metre line inside Berwick territory. Berwick up towards halfway. Tommy McCall doing very well to fight and batter his way up towards the halfway line. Recycle ball on towards Skeen. Skeen plants a left-footed kick, more of a 7-iron this time. That trundles into touch inside that 22. Scampering after it was the try scorer Dalrymple, but Wanderers will have to settle for a throw-in just down towards the front of the west stand.
Interesting there. Berwick must feel that they've got the edge in the line out so far. Strong line out maul coming in the build up to that try, but Greenock are looking to play pretty quickly.
Wanderers with the quick throw in towards the front of the line. Andrew McDougall playing a support role. It comes out there from Andrew Graham, the tight head prop. They've hoisted one forward. Underneath it is Dalrymple. On now towards the full-back here, Hindhaugh. Hindhaugh up and over halfway. Hindhaugh still has it. His tackle just short of the 10-metre line. Recycled again from Rogerson. Out towards Jamie Pick. On towards Ali Grieve now. Grieve ex of Melrose. Lovely offload there. Challenged by Tommy Jackson. And Jackson took the ball forward. There is Jackson just getting back to his feet. And he's back on the pitch there. That was good work there from a combination of Berwick players. And Berwick, since scoring that try, you feel they've got a bit more of a spring in their step.
Yeah, definitely playing with a lot more confidence. It's not every day you see a prop grubbering the ball, but they've looked to put the pressure on Greenock, and they've got themselves in good field position with the turnover line out just now.
Rogerson from that turnover. You can see that again Wanderers have been penalised. Flying in there, some going in off their feet, and Berwick now have a decision to make here. They're trailing in the game by 8 points to 5. Wanderers, the opening try coming from Scott Bellew, that somewhat cancelled out by Jack Dalrymple with the try, but it is still the advantage with Wanderers because they have the penalty goal from Graham Hogg, only separating the sides. Skeen's kick has taken Berwick down towards the 5-metre line. So you can see now Ryan Wilson throwing the ball into this line out in the sunshine at BT Murrayfield. 23.5 minutes of this first half gone of the Shield final. He floats a throw in there. Wanderers are able to get it just over their own goal line. It's knocked forward, knocked on there by Berwick. So it'll be another set play, a scrummage, and a put into Greenock Wanderers, and it remains 8-5 and an intriguing start to the game.
Yeah, Greenock are looking to get 2 pods up in the line out, and Berwick necessarily thrown to the middle, didn't necessarily pick the best option there. The lineouts where they've had success, so they've thrown to the back, but it's interesting to see whether they trust their hooker to make those throws.
So both scrum halves again alongside one another. Andrew McDougall will feed the ball in with Cameron Rogerson, hands on hips, just alongside. And see in our picture as well the Wanderers, Chris McCarran full-back and Harrison the inside centre. Comes back now, wrestled away. Wanderers once again having a look at whether their option is to use the forwards or bring it through the midfield. He's signalled another infringement there, crossing, and Berwick are presented with an opportunity again. They're going to go for the post this time.
That was quite a harsh penalty. I thought necessarily he didn't stop the defender from making the tackle, but the referee's seen that he has, and Berwick have now got the chance to make the game a bit tighter. Yes,
that would draw the game level at 8 points all if he was to land this conversion attempt, but crossing the infringement, and Berwick now through Andrew Skeen is just feeding the ball on the tee at the moment. So he's facing the north stand here with the spectators all along the sort of lower sections of the west stand, and the crowd have certainly filled up somewhat even since the conclusion of that very entertaining final of the Bowl. So Andrew Skeen then to draw the game level. 25.5 minutes old. Skeen, no problem for Skeen. Berwick are level. Berwick 8, Wanderers 8.
Yeah, we'll have no problem from there. Straight in front of the post, and he puts it straight through the middle.
Straight and true, and we're back level with 6 minutes on the clock here at BT Murrayfield. These Berwick coaching staff watching on, of course, celebrating their 50th anniversary with promotion as well, a championship, and reaching the final of the Shield here. It's been a very successful season for Berwick. Jamie Pick gets them on the way. This is good work here from Rogerson, the scrum half. Rogerson is eventually challenged just over the halfway line, and I'm just glancing, I think the referee has signalled a knock on. Certainly he's given the penalty the way of Greenock Wanderers there, but that was good work initially from Jamie Pick, and particularly from Cameron Robertson down the right hand side.
Yeah, the Greenock defender flew out the line, and Jamie Pick looked like he was about to be smashed, but he gave a bit of footwork and broke down the outside, and then they were probably inches away from getting a try scoring opportunity there.
Rogers certainly doing very well for Berwick, as Andrew Skeen once again is still stretching a back injury. Now, I'm not aware of him coming into this game with an injury, but he perhaps has sustained a knock from his exertions last weekend, so he's paid particular attention to that lower back.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether he's stretching at this point or just sunbathing in the nice weather we have here.
That's certainly very pleasant weather, that's for sure. And just on the edge of the 22, there's a Wanderers player down. I can see Wanderers have already got stripped and ready to come on. Callum Robb, their number 20. So Wanderers is certainly looking to make another replacement.
Yeah, he just came out the line quick. He thought he'd probably getting the big hit, but a bit of footwork, and he just he sold himself there.
So Wanderers just at the moment again going to the bench quite early to bolster their armoury, but it's sad to see players going off that have been, looking forward to an occasion like this for so long, having reached the final, and if the final is cut short by injury in 26 minutes, that must be disappointing. So Wanderers once again just going to the bench, bringing on, as I say, Callum Robb. Match official in a picture there, Gordy Reid, about to get things restarted after the replacement is made.
A change for Greenock Wanderers, leaving the pitch, number 6, Callum Spriddle, being replaced by number 20, Callum.
So Callum Spriddle is applauded off the field of play and has been replaced by Callum Robb. Spriddle exchanged a quick handshake from a couple of those supporting Wanderers coaching staff that are down the front of the west stand, and Callum Spriddle just heading up the front of the stand towards the dressing rooms as play continues again. Half-backs linking up well. Hogg receiving the pass from McDougall, looking to recycle with the game level at 8 points all, approaching the half-hour mark.
Jamie Pick's unlucky there to get penalised. I thought he'd supporting his own body weight, but again, Greenock are getting success from playing quickly and looking to tire the almost bigger Berwick players out.
So a chance here. Andrew Guthrie, who of course came on just a few moments ago. We mentioned Guthrie on for Brad McCleary, and it's the angled kick from Guthrie. That's a decent one as well, just on the edge of the 22. So they're a word from the starting scrum half, Andrew McDougall, and Andrew Guthrie in our picture on after just over 20 minutes of the game played. We've now played 27, and tidy line out ball there on the edge of the Berwick 22, and the players end up back in touch but this is an important stage in the contest as well, when you're so close and neither side really having the upper hand. One team wants to try and take the game by the scruff of the neck and dominate and try and get some points on the board with the possession they would have.
Yeah, it's interesting to see a lot of errors coming into the game now. It's interesting seeing which team will steam ahead and look to take the advantage at this stage.
From the throw, spilled, but Berwick looking to try and shepherd the ball into the 22. The exit will be a kick, left-footed, spinning one just downfield up towards that 10-metre line between the 10 and the 22 there. And that was a decent exit there from Berwick, as again they're looking just to keep Wanderers at bay at the moment.
Putting real pressure on Greenock's line-out. I think there's 2 line-outs we've managed to get a steal on there. And again, that's a squint throw.
So Webster's exit there, and the throw in is squint. So once again, a bit like the final of the bowl, a little bit untidy and scrappy at times, but tight and a difficult one to call, and that keeps the spectators very much on the edge of their seats. We're delighted to have you following our coverage of Silver Saturday here at BT Murrayfield, and of course still to come further action, including the final of the cup competition between Ayr and Heriots, which kicks off just after 3 o'clock this afternoon. Rogerson then on towards Webster. Skeen, he's still on the field and still looking to make a contribution. Charge down. Hindhaw's back just to try and exit for Berwick here. Does very well indeed. Block challenge is a good one there from McDougall, the scrum half. Referee signalling it was rather high, but last player up there was Jack Webster. We'll see if it was indeed. We're getting a replay of this, the breakaway runner, and it was the challenge in on Webster around the neck from McDougall.
Berwick a bit lucky there. Skeen just took ages to make that kick, and the Greenock players read it well and blocked it down, and they get out of it with a high tackle.
Ryan Wilson then with the throw-in. On towards again the middle of the line, back towards Rogerson under a bit of pressure. Taken on, this is Jamie Pick. Back row forward, is stolen, and Wanderers again are able to try and get some joy down this left-hand side. Wanderers again up towards the edge of that 22. Going in is McDougall once more. Has to bring Hogg into play. McDougall will ship the ball back in. Forward is Dave Smith in the back row with Martin Lavelle. Callum Spirrell, of course, has since been replaced, having picked up that injury and been treated down in the medical rooms down below us. And the pod of 3 now for Wanderers, looking to do some damage. They started with Murray McDonald, Declan Bolster and Andrew Graham in that front row. Hogg again receiving it from his scrum half across towards the left hand side in the sunshine, trying to bring try scorer Ballou into play. Also Harrison and McGroarty in the midfield. Over again go the Wanderers players. Berwick are able to pick up that loose ball. They've won some turnover there. Rogerson comes in, and it's now picked up and planted back, and again the full back Hindhaw back there towards Webster. Webster's spinning kick. Underneath it though is Andrew McDougall, and now Wanderers suddenly they're almost half through again. Good work from the try scorer Ballou. Comes down this right hand side as we're watching Wanderers getting closer towards the edge of the 22 in our picture at the moment. Taken this time by Dave Smith with the headband on the edge of the 22. He's tackled. Berwick are able to steal it, but the referee has given Wanderers a penalty, so nothing doing for Berwick. Not the first time they thought they'd perhaps been away, but they've been called back. Hogg on the ball at the moment. And a quick word, the match referee there speaking to Tom Jackson, the tight head of Berwick.
Yeah, that was a massive hit by Martin Lavelle. He smashed the Berwick number 7, Jamie Pick, who's knocked it on, and they've looked to put the pressure on in the 22, and they've come away with a penalty.
Hogg then will try and add the extra 3 points, courtesy of this penalty goal. And 8-all at the moment. There he is, Graham Hogg. And Hogg just preparing his kick here, heading towards that south stand, and behind the posts Andrew Skeen is still working his back there as Hogg. This is not the first time that there's been an opportunity for Hogg to add points, and Skeen has been trying to stretch the lower back, work the hips as well. Hogg then, here he goes, left footed. He's got enough height in the ball, plenty of distance, there he goes, another 3 points for the Wanderers, and they're back in front and back in business. Berwick 8, Wanderers 11.
Another easy kick for Hogg there, but it puts him into the league just before half time.
Greenock Wanderers then have the lead, the Folk Matilda side closing in on an advantage at half time into the last 7 minutes of the first half. Andrew Skeen back on his feet, so he'll certainly want to see it out towards half time. Skeen then with the restart, hoist it high just over that 10-metre line. It goes a begging and it's been knocked forward, signalled the referee Gordy Reid. Another set play, another scrummage, and the stop-start nature of the game continues.
Yeah, it's interesting to see there. Skeen's restarts are almost sevens, like he's putting it right on that 10-metre line, and both teams are having a real good contest for the ball, which gives the chance for the forwards to show off their dominance in the scrum.
Yeah, well-known man around Myers side, of course. Andrew Skeen won many sevens titles over the years with Watsonians, and we mentioned some of his other clubs. He's also had a spell at Kelso, and there's many of these Berwick players that have been long-standing Berwick servants, and the same applies to Greenock. And it's taken on this time nicely there by Duncan Hardy up towards the edge of the 22. Berwick looking to recycle quickly here. Rogerson goes in, has a look towards his left-hand side. Again, Webster in position, so too Hindhaw, the full-back. The ball bouncing just in front of his feet there. The referee had already whistled the infringement, and back it will come. Centre field, Berwick will have the opportunity. Well, they go for the posts here. The referee, just a word in his ear from Andrew Skeen. Skeen, the ball retrieved there from Rogerson, the scrum half, and right in front of the posts. I think Skeen, yeah, they're definitely going to go for the sticks there to try and bring themselves level with 5 minutes of the half left to play.
Yeah, both teams are just looking to stay in the contest for as long as they can, and probably look to see them come a bit more confidence in the second half and look to be a bit more expansive.
Andrew Skeen then just goes over, taking his time, as spectators are still finding some seating inside the west stand here. It's open all day if you're in the Murrayfield area and want to come along and enjoy the 15s action here. Silver Saturday continues all the way through this afternoon with further action on the back pitches and of course here in the National Stadium, where we're approaching half time, and it's Berwick 8, Greenock Wanderers 11 into the last 5 minutes, and we're watching Andrew Skeen line up this penalty goal attempt from in front of the posts and just about the 22. Skeen, left footed, makes no mistake, and we've got a level game again. Berwick 11, Greenock Wanderers 11, 4 minutes of the first half left to play.
Interesting you said Skeen played for Kelso last year. I remember playing him in my first season playing for club rugby. He's almost deceptive because you think he looks like an old man, and then suddenly he's round you with his pace.
He's evergreen. Well, we probably find him under the category of evergreen club players. The restart kick there from Andrew Guthrie, high and gathered there by Jamie Pick of Berwick. Secured in possession for the Scremerston club and carried forward this time by Tommy McCall. He's another player that's been around Scremerston a long time. Indeed, he'll enjoy this experience. Skeen again, left footed, flatter spinning kick, rather deceptive, but is gathered there, and Chris McCarran back trying to do a bit of forward work there, running into Duncan Hardy of Berwick though, and in behind us Andrew McDougall. Out towards this right hand side, McGroarty takes it on. McGroarty, good power shown by McGroarty. Hindhaw tries to block the challenge there. It's picked up once more by McDougall on towards Dave Smith again. McDougall goes in again, but the referee once more penalising Wanderers taking the ball into the contact, not releasing there, and Berwick have the exit through Andrew Skeen, and the clock showing with just over 2 minutes of the half left to play.
Berwick doing very well in defence. The first man in is trying to chop that attacker, and the second man in is in lightning quick over ball and being hard to move. They've won 3 or 4 penalties now from that Jacko in the breakdown, and it's interesting to see how Greenock respond in their clear-outs and dealing with that.
Yeah, it's been an even match so far. 2 penalties for Graham Hogg, 2 for Andrew Skeen, a try apiece as well. Jack Dalrymple's try after Scott Bellew had earlier scored a try for Greenock Wanderers. Wanderers with a player down just now, Chris McCarran, the full-back, just receiving some treatment, and he's getting himself back to his feet there. Meanwhile, Andrew Skeen still working that lower back, and that's perhaps just a consequence of so many years of playing at a pretty high level. We mentioned his international appearances for the Scotland Sevens, but playing for a clutch of clubs, and including playing in Italy, getting up in 10 years ago with Rome and Milan. Not too many players have done that, and he certainly enjoys this experience, no question. You wouldn't want him talk too long to him about retirement.
Yeah, he's definitely a real leader. Also, he's around the Watsonians quite a bit, being involved with their sevens at the moment, and he's always speaking up in the group chat, trying to get as many boys down to training as he can.
Throw in there from Ryan Wilson. Back once more, Rogerson on there towards Webster. Left hand side, Dalrymple, the try scorer, trying to spread it out towards Skeen. Skeen again, Hindhaugh up in support on that right hand side. Slowed up, Rogerson I should say, goes in and is able to bring the next clutch of Berwick players forward over that 10-metre line. Recycled again. Comes back through the hands of Rogerson. Flat pass, tight head prop, Tom Jackson goes in. And the referee had signalled the handling infringement there, so that comes to nothing just over that 10-metre line. 11 all, and we've got about 90 seconds of the half left to play.
Yeah, Berwick looking to play a bit more off 10 than they have in the opening 30 minutes of the game. Instead of the forward runners of 9, they're looking to put them a bit wide, and they've just been caught up, probably getting a bit too wide there, and the 10 has put a pass a bit in forward.
Another scrummage for Greenock Wanderers. They're put in. It's been a pretty quick first half, only a minute of the half left to play. Level pegging, 11 points all. And of course Aberdeenshire winning against Dundee Merricks just by 3 points. It's the break from McGroarty, again up, and he's going to have a second bite up and over that 10-metre line. Recycled by McDougall. He's got some pace from deeper lying positions, as once more the midfield position themselves to break from just around the 10-metre line. Hogg on again. McGroarty on towards the full-back. McCarran. Angled run. McCarran still has it. Still he's got it. Wrestles his way into that 22. Berwick finally are able to floor the Greenock Wanderers full-back there, but a brilliant run from Chris McCarran. And it comes back again through the hands of McDougall on towards Hogg. Taken rather flat there, but again, good work from the back row forwards, and once more Greenock Wanderers trying to penetrate, trying to break this spirited Berwick defence just before half time. We've played the full first 40 minutes. The clock has shown that this is the last action of the first half. Wanderers just peppering the line. The referee signalled to score, and Wanderers' sheer persistence pays off. And I think it could well be Wanderers just signalling who it is that scored. Is it the number 8 Martin Lavelle who scored the try? Lavelle certainly receiving the congratulations from his teammates, and it is Lavelle. We'll get a replay here, Connor.
Yeah, that whole phase of play has come from a massive carry from Brendan McGroarty, and he's allowed to put his forwards close to the line, and no one's going to miss from there.
The scrum half playing the pass out there. McDougall on towards Martin Lavelle, the number 8, and he had a lot of work to do, but showing great power to cross the line right on half time. And Greenock Wanderers lead by 16 points to 11. The kick on the angle, and we'll watch to see if they can add the extra 2 points to take us into half time. But 16-11 the scoreline just at the moment, with the kick to come. And these are pressure kicks here. Hogg again. There he is in the picture. Hogg then just taking a few moments. This then, the last instalment. He'll have the final say in this first half. Graham Hogg, left-footed from the edge of the 22, spinning around, just wide of the uprights. So there we are, our half-time score. Berwick 11, Greenock Wanderers 16. Connor, your thoughts in the first 40 minutes?
I thought it's been a hard-fought contest between both teams. Berwick's defence has been pretty good so far, and they'll be unhappy with that last passage of play where a lot of missed tackles have allowed Greenock to get into the half. Greenock have probably come out on top in that half just because of the intensity and the enthusiasm they played the game with. Big, powerful carries from their backs have put them in good field position, but they probably won't be as happy with their set piece where Berwick have looked to take the advantage.
So we'll take a short break and be back just to analyse the first half. And the second half, of course, it's a 5-minute interval for these players. But at half time, here in the final of the Shield at BT Murrayfield, it's Berwick 11, Greenock Wanderers 16.
This is an important update about coronavirus.
We want to remind you that to save lives, it's vital we all continue to stay at home. Feeling bored and frustrated is natural, and as the days go by, you might be tempted to take more chances, like going out for food more often or popping in to see friends or family. Don't. You can pass the virus on to others even if you don't have any symptoms. Please continue to stay at home, protect the NHS, and save lives. For more information, go to nhsinform.scot/coronavirus.
So I'm no longer playing for the Scottish national side, but thanks to BT and Scottish Rugby, I'm able to virtually rejoin the Scotland national session during the Guinness Six Nations.
Let's start with some basic attacking play.
Oh, that's weird. It's good that I don't like heights, right?
Expect Hugh Jones to throw in a switch.
Square, Henry. Get across here.
That is
Don't shut it off, George.
That's very lifelike. It's a little bit unnerving to start with, and actually understanding you can look around and stuff, but it's a very, very unusual experience, but really fascinating to be part of that.
Get ready to go in the whistle.
A rugby club is more than 15 players on the field. It's about a life better spent. A community mucking in together out of love for the local game. From kicking tees to cups of tea. Protecting the future of the game, making the stars of tomorrow. Royal Bank Rugby Force makes rugby life even better. We'll support over 75% of all qualifying clubs this season with tools, funding and expertise. Make sure your club is one of them. To apply, search Royal Bank Rugby Force and get started today.
Just that short interval then of 5 minutes, short time for the players to take on some fluids and for instructions to be passed on for the respective coaching staff. Berwick and Wanderers, Greenock Wanderers now on the pitch. The referee signalling that we're pretty much good to go once again. Gordy Reid, our match official, with Fergus Hollins and Alan Parry, the assistant refereeing officials today, and Andrew Skeen will get us underway. So Skeen is going to continue into the early stages, at least, the second half. Skeen then floats one, a restart, just as Connor was saying, a bit like a sevens kick there. Matt Gray is able to gobble that one up, and Wanderers again through McDougall, feeding the ball just to the right hand side. Ball carrier taking it over that 10-metre line. McDougall goes in once again, finds Graham Hogg, landed a couple of important penalties. On towards Callum Harrison on the angle, good running from Harrison and McGroty in the centre. The two centres linking very well, and Wanderers could well be in for a try inside the opening minute of the second half, and Wanderers score, and it's a fullback, Chris McCarran. He punches the air. The centre's doing a lot of the hard work, but the fullback Chris McCarran had plenty to do when he got possession of the ball. A minute of the second half gone, and McCarran scoring Greenock Wanderers' third try.
Yeah, rugby's just a battle of the gain line really, and Greenock are looking to get that dominance in their carries. Strong forward carries means that they can go wide, and when they go wide, their backs are running with real intent and real aggression.
There's the power of the fullback running in, and he gets to his feet, and there he punches there, loving that moment. And McCarran is the latest try scorer. Ballou, Martin Lavelle and Chris McCarran, the try scorers for Greenock Wanderers. Graham Hogg, there is the shot there of Graham Hogg lining up the conversion attempt. So Berwick 11, Greenock Wanderers 21, and Hogg floats that one over. Touch judges have a long look at each other, raise their flags, and it's Berwick 11, Greenock Wanderers 23. And Wanderers, of course, starting with an advantage at half time, just building on that with a very early try. And a replacement I can see for Berwick, Ewan Thompson, has just come on the field of play. And just looking down to see who he is replaced there. It looks as if it is Tommy McCall. So Berwick's number 4, Tommy McCall, has left the field of play to be replaced by Ewan Thompson, number 17. Floated kick there, almost juggled but taken well by Berwick
A change for
midfield.
Berwick, leaving the pitch.
Again,
Number 4, Peter McCall,
recycled.
being replaced by number 17,
Just
Ewan
on the
Thompson.
10-metre line. Berwick again, Rogerson. There's Thompson, there's an early touch for the replacement. Thompson on the field of play with a scrum cap on. The bleached blonde hair. Jamie Pick drops his shoulder, drives a few metres there, Rogerson in behind. Once again, Ali Grieve now carries forward between the 10 and the 22 inside Wanderers territory. Slight pass out there from Webster out towards the left-hand side. Wanderers has got again a tight mobile defence, just trying to control the stem of this Berwick flow. Rogerson on towards Skeen. Skeen was able there to find Tom Jackson. Referee allowing play to continue as Wanderers had stolen it, but just off their feet there. So Berwick, Connor, this is an important decision for Berwick to make here, because there's now a gap between these sides, the biggest it's been so far in the game. 23-11 Wanderers lead, and Berwick can ill afford for that lead to increase, and they'll have to start thinking about pegging it back.
Yeah, interesting decision to go for post here, but Andrew Skeeney's experienced player. He knows that the rugby game is 40 minutes in each half, so they've definitely got plenty of time to come back. But they definitely need to change something, as Greenock are looking to score tries for fun almost.
Andrew Skeen then trying to land another penalty. Been successful with 2. Jack Dalrymple with the Berwick try. Greenock Wanderers scoring 3 tries, and the third coming right at the start of the second half. Chris McCarran, the fullback, with the score. Skeen then looking up at the post with the scoreboard and the clock, aiming towards those posts at the south stand. Here he goes then. Strikes it well. It's just wide of the uprights though, so that's a chance of 3 points. Goes a begging for Andrew Skeen and Berwick, and Wanderers now Hogg just a few outstretched arms and some directions been passed on, showing his experience here. Wanderers will feel that they've got a grip in the game now, and Berwick will have to take the game to Greenock if things are going to change, you would imagine. Wanderers then with the restart, gathered in there by Gareth Hill, and on the angle just short of that 10-metre line. Rogerson goes in once again, and Berwick almost in two minds as to who's going to gather. Taken on there by Ryan Wilson though. Rogerson mops up once again on towards Webster. This left hand side, Skeen and Hardy in the midfield. Might have to use Hardy that little bit more as the inside centre. Taken on the short of that 10-metre line. Wanderers keeping a tight defence. A Berwick player down receiving a little bit of treatment. Andrew Skeen just works his way around. I think it's Ali Grieve that's down, injured. Berwick number 8. But he's back on his feet. It is indeed Grieve, but he's back on his feet just now. Referee was almost going to play the advantage there for the little error, handling error from Berwick. It's going to be Greenock Wanderers who'll have the put in at the latest scrummage. Grieve back to his feet. He's another player that's been around a while and got quite a lot of experience with border clubs. But big questions now for Berwick to try and answer, and they'll need to go to the well to get the best out of the players as they trail by 23 points to 11.
Yeah, it was a good defensive set there by Greenock. Big hits coming in all round, and they've managed to force a turnover from a knock on. Berwick need to come up with something now.
In from the scrum then, McDougall round to the back of the scrum, brings Hogg into play again. That pass just bounced alongside Callum Harrison there. He couldn't gather it in cleanly. Berwick penalised once more.
That's something they don't need to do. They don't need to give away stupid penalties in those positions. Otherwise it just gives Greenock the chance to come again.
We tap from McDougall towards this right hand side, short of the 22, or short of the halfway line I should say, building from the edge of the 22. They've made it up towards halfway now, Wanderers. The spectators watching on, quite quiet just at the moment in the west stand. Wanderers doing well again. It's McCarran's deep kick forcing Berwick back. That's not going to be a touch finder. Rory Hindhaw is able to pick up leathers it right footed, spinning over up towards halfway. It's going to be just short of that 10-metre line. Decent kick there from Hindhaugh, but Wanderers still trying to apply the pressure, and they'll have the throw in just down below our commentary position. Declan Bolster will throw the ball in then for Greenock Wanderers towards the front of the line. Berwick always got a hand to it there, comes back towards the scrum half. Now Hogg at fly half. Again brings bruising forwards into play, carrying it up just towards that 10-metre line. Hogg receives it again at head height. Now tries to bring McGrorty and Harrison in the midfield. Oh, they're getting some joy down this right-hand side now. Wanderers, the Berwick defence beginning to splinter and open up a little bit here as it's recycled again. The power of this Wanderers side really coming to the fore here. Spread down the left-hand channel now. A 2-on-1 situation perhaps opening up. Andrew Guthrie was in open space there. Guthrie goes in now just to protect possession of the ball as it comes back once more. And once again Martin Lavelle looking dangerous. Already got a try on the board for Wanderers. Wanderers now are going to be over for another score. Try number 4 for Greenock Wanderers. And it's their centre, Brendan McGrorty, who may well have broken Berwick hearts with that try, but he's becoming a more central figure in this contest. And it's Berwick 11, Greenock Wanderers 28 with the try, with the kick to come after McGrorty's score.
Yeah, he's been very good in this second half so far. A big man, very difficult to stop, and he gets the ball 5 metres out and just powers his way through the defenders.
Hardy, that's Duncan Hardy of Berwick, just couldn't stop him, and just taking the congratulations of his teammates there, and a well-earned drink there for the try scorer Brendan McGrorty. And Hogg again lining up this conversion attempt. He's had a few from out wide, Graham Hogg, and if he was to land this would take Greenock Wanderers onto the 30-point mark. We've played just a fraction under the 10 minutes of the second half. Wanderers starting the second half very brightly. Chris McCarran with a try, and then Brendan McGrorty with try number 4. Hogg's kick is just over. He's made it. I tell you, those touch judges looked for a long time. I thought it was going to be just drift wide of the uprights there, but it's good. Hogg from the angle. Berwick 11, Greenock Wanderers 30, and we've still got half an hour to play.
Yeah, it's interesting. Berwick in the league dominance probably haven't had a tough contest like this in a while. Obviously an unbeaten run going back to the start of the season. So the pressure that Greenock are putting on them now is something they won't be used to.
Berwick, of course, defeated Royal High in the semi-final, the club's 50th year. And we were talking there about the football club formed in 1881. They've got Albion Rovers today. But sharp contrast to Berwick playing here at Murrayfield. Berwick Rangers could well be going out of senior football if they were to lose this afternoon in the subsequent playoff. But Berwick Rugby Club are certainly on the up regardless of what happens here at the National Stadium. Struggling against Greenock just at the moment, but they've still got half an hour to turn things around. But Greenock really, they seem to fancy this one and try to put to rest the disappointments of 2 previous final defeats. That kick from Wanderers taking them down just short of the staggered 10-metre line, and they will have the throw in again, and quickly there to take it is Declan Bolster again towards the front of the line. One well, Dougal on towards the replacement there, Davis, and it's carried forward at pace here. Wanderers just comfortable. Guthrie out towards that right hand side. They're getting some joy down Berwick's left and the Wanderers right, but Berwick now have managed to get cover and just force Greenock Wanderers into touch as they were once again just inside the 22, but no more. But they're spreading the ball with a great deal of confidence out towards that right hand side and causing a lot of problems.
Yeah, every time they go wide, get out to McGrorty and McCarran, it seems that they have real danger, and they look like they could be close to scoring every time.
In that line out trying to cause a bit of damage, Ewan Thompson And Berwick have managed to get the ball once again just on the edge of their own 22. Recycled again. Scheme had a quieter half. Feeds the ball out towards Hindhaugh, down this right hand side. Hacked forward there, the kick ahead from Gareth Hill. Wanderers are able to pick up and use what little blind side there is to good effect here. And again the scrum half makes his way across. Andrew McDougall just almost at walking pace now. The clock very much against Berwick, but very much with Greenock Wanderers. McDougall again, pod of three forms, led there by Matt Gray. Recycled once again, another pod of three just organises itself as the ball carrier takes it up closer towards that 10-metre line. Berwick are quite low, going in the tackle at the moment. Hogg out towards again the centres of McGroarty and Harrison, and out on that right wing there, Blood Creeley of course was replaced a little bit earlier on by Andrew Guthrie. He was the starting right winger for Greenock Wanderers this afternoon, but comes back centre field. Wanderers again, perhaps a suggestion of that being slightly forward there, but the referee has now signalled the Wanderers infringement, and there's plenty of energy and drive being shown by these Greenock Wanderers players with 53 minutes on the clock, and Wanderers have a margin of 20 points and something of a cushion now. Berwick 11, Greenock Wanderers 30.
Yeah, Berwick just can't seem to get a foothold in the game at the moment. It's Greenock with all the possession and all the drive forward, so it'll be interesting to see how Berwick can react and how they can look to build from this lineup they've won.
And number 10, Jack Webster, being replaced by number 21, Adam Hardy, and number 18, Aidan Rosen.
Few replacements. Adam Hardy, I can see, has come on the field of play. Todd Pringle may well be on as well, but Berwick certainly making a few changes just at this stage in the game. And the referee not too happy with that decision there, so it's gone back for another set play. It's going to be a scrummage this time, and put in here, this is well, it's important at this stage, 54 minutes gone. If Berwick were to get a converted try, just reduce the arrears, it would maybe give them a bit more confidence, but the scrum put in is going the way of Greenock Wanderers, and their scrum half Andrew McDougall taking on the scrummaging duties. Of course, Adam Hardy now for Berwick, confirming that replacement. Back towards McDougall, on towards Hogg. Hogg then, little reverse pass in. Hogg was challenged late, but play continues. McGroarty out towards that right hand side again. Greenock looking dangerous, trying to bring McCarn into play. Has already got a try, so too has McGroarty. Wanderers again, just inside Berwick territory there. That's the staggered 10-metre line inside the Berwick half of the field. Hogg, left-footed, charged down, ricocheted off the arms there. I think it was perhaps Andrew Skeen. That was free advantage ball there for Greenock Wanderers, and play will come back across towards this right-hand side. A word in the ear of the referee from Ali Grieve, but it's Hogg once more from the edge of that 10-metre line, who'll just take his time over playing the ball downfield and set Wanderers up on another attack.
Yeah, Greenock have all the advantage now. Berwick just can't get into this. They'll look to kick the corner and probably just stretch that lead out even further. If Berwick don't score soon, then it probably won't have as much chance of getting back into it, but it's missed touch from Hogg there.
Just played downfield, returned with a little bit of interest, and Wanderers are now going to have the throw in just between the 10 and the 22. Be thrown in here. Wanderers starting, of course, with Declan Bolster as their hooker. There's Bolster just at the back of the picture, throwing the ball in, stabbed towards the front of the line. Again, Dave Smith is able to win possession of the ball. Tackle comes in there from Ali Grieve, and recycled here once again. Taken on this right hand side where Greenock Wanderers have had some joy in the match so far. Berwick getting closer towards their own 22 once again. Hogg just delays the pass. Hogg, oh, he'd love a try if he could score one this afternoon, but the referee bringing play back once again as they signal crossing once more. There's crossing there, and that has not gone down well in the Greenock contingent of supporters in the West Stand, and it remains Berwick 11, Greenock Wanderers 30, and Andrew Skeen is now measuring a kick down closer towards halfway, and Wanderers, they're playing with a free will now, you would say.
Yeah, Hogg almost seemed to just glide through there, and then it became apparent that there must have been crossing. But yeah, the free will of Wanderers just to play open and expansive rugby is just kind of enabling them to get scored tries and making it almost hard for Berwick to get back into it.
Skeen again tries to bring Ali Grieve into play. He couldn't take the ball cleanly and then was immediately under a bit of pressure there from these Greenock Wanderers jerseys. Skeen again down the left hand side, behind Hogg carries. Once again it's recycled up and just over halfway. Berwick again looking a little more menacing there, but there's an air of desperation around how Berwick are having to approach it now with the margin of 20 points. I want to keep their heads up, heads held high, and keep focused and play with a confidence and an assurance. But we're approaching the hour mark, just over 58 minutes gone, and Wanderers, you feel, are holding all the aces at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I think Berwick will probably attempt to throw the kitchen sink at it from now. As the time gets less and less, the expansive rugby of Berwick will probably become more and more.
They'll certainly want to end the season on a high, Wanderers, and after they've been runners-up in the Bowl in 2005 and the Shields in 2010, 9 years ago, this could very well be their day. From the throw-in, coming back on that Berwick side, Skeen couldn't gather cleanly. Wanderers have done well, managed to secure possession, pass out towards Hogg. Now again the Wanderers midfield looking dangerous. McGroarty, a wonderful mazy run, an offload. Oh, this could be the try of the afternoon so far. The tap tackle is brilliant, but Wanderers are able to get to their feet again, and touchdown if the referee awarded the score. He has now. Marvellous bit of play there, great determination, and the Wanderers are in for another score. Greenock now showing the class. Scott Ballou with his second try of the game. A brilliant run, direct play from Wanderers, and Berwick just have no answer.
There's been two of Greenock Wanderers star men that combining there. Brendan McGroarty with a stunning break from about halfway to take up to 22, and then the vision to find Bellew with the pass, who just got caught in the 5 but managed to regather his feet and go over for the try.
I was asking a lot there of Adam Hardy to slow him up, but the tap tackle attempt coming in there from Jack Dalrymple, and you almost thought the chance had gone for Scott Ballou there, but he was back on his feet, did very well indeed to get back on his feet and carry on the momentum. Credit, he was only just a few metres short of the try line at that stage. Referee just taking a long hard look before awarding the score. But already on Silver Saturday we've had some good scores, perhaps none better so far in the day than that one. Berwick 11, Greenock Wanderers 35. Been one or two high scoring finals at Murrayfield, certainly in the early days of the competitions. Cup, Shield and Bowl, and of course with a plate for a few years in the late 2000s. Hogg just wide of the uprights. Well, from my seat, I don't know about you, Connor, but it looked as if he'd done enough there. It couldn't have been far away.
Yeah, he wasn't far away. But again, the dangerousness of the backs from Greenock Wanderers, Berwick are just unable to deal with them at the moment. They've got to come up with something quick if they want to save anything from this match.
Change for Berwick, leaving the pitch, number 11, Jack.
It was the very first final back in 1996. Finished Curry 75, Stirling County 25. So 100 points shared between those sides back 23 years ago. Not saying it'll be as high scoring as that, but Greenock Wanderers certainly have got a solid advantage here. 35 points to 11. We've only 20 minutes of the game left to play. But Berwick will certainly not want to capitulate. And Connor, you made a good point given how well they've played in the league and having secured promotion so early on. They've maybe not faced opposition like this in a game like this season.
No, definitely. They've probably never been this far down this season, and only players from probably past seasons with the club will remember what it was like to be this far down before.
Skeen on towards Ali Grieve. Grieve is able to fend off a few challenges coming in there as it's recycled now. And taken forward again once more. Andrew Skeen. Skeen still has it. Just short of that 5 metre line when we come back. Infielder go to the right hand side. There's a long hard look. The replacement scrum half Adam Hardy. Towards the left hand side. And the inside centre Duncan Hardy carrying the ball up ever closer towards that 5 metre line. Adam now with the recycled ball. And again the Wanderers defence is secure. Greenock then leading by 35 points to 11. 18 minutes of this final left to play. Once more Hardy on towards Skeen. To this left hand side Hindhaw. Now on towards Gareth Hill. Gareth Hill, what a story if Hill could score! And Gareth Hill surely scored the try! Has he managed to ground the ball cleanly? He's taken the congratulations from his teammates and he gets the score. And a man who's been part of this club for so long and was here in 98 and 2004 in very different roles is back at Murrayfield again with a score, and you can see what that means to him.
Yeah, outstanding finish there, acrobatics at his best. He has two defenders in front of him, takes outside and almost does a sort of flip to get the ball down.
Here we can see him coming towards that camera angle behind the posts. Clearly had a solid hand in the ball there and he was not going to be denied that score. Gareth Hill then has responded for Berwick. And he'll feel that maybe time is against them, but from a personal point of view that's a nice moment for Berwick stalwart. Skeen then lining up this conversion attempt, hands clasped. Skeen has made it and Berwick have another 2 points. Berwick and mountain climbing now. Wanderers have a healthy advantage, but Berwick eating into that 35-18, and some joy at least for Gareth Hill and for Berwick, but a lot for them still to do. Greenock have certainly been good value in this second half so far.
Yeah, we talked about Berwick maybe not being used to being behind, but maybe it's Greenock not being used to being this far ahead against such a good competitor.
Two changes being made by Berwick, leaving the pitch. Number 12, Duncan Hardy, and number 7, Jamie Pick.
Duncan Hardy and Jamie Pick have left the field,
and number 20,
and Lee Douglas has come on the field to play. I'm just looking to see if it's Paul Pringle or Stuart Gilchrist who's also come on for Berwick, but they've certainly made two changes in the last couple of minutes. Stuart Gilchrist is certainly on there, number 22. So Berwick will want to use the bench to full effect. I can see that some members of the Heriots coaching staff now and backroom staff are watching on here from the touchline as well. Some of these guys will know representatives from Greenock and Berwick quite well, I would imagine. Now we had two yellow cards in the final of the bowl, but the referee really hasn't had any cause to go to his pocket so far in this contest. A word with three Berwick players there, but nothing more than a stern word from our match referee for this game, Gordy Reid.
Yeah, he's just come through the ruck there and tried to play the 9, but you just see how relaxed Greenock are with the ball. Graham Hogg doing keefy uffies with it while he's waiting for his team to win a penalty.
Just watching on here as the penalty conceded by Berwick has been lined up by Graham Hogg. And Hogg again just getting back to his feet. A little bit more of a breeze beginning to blow around parts of Murrayfield, BT Murrayfield just at the moment. Hogg again just taking a deep breath. Just going through that kicking routine, taking a deep breath. 18:35. Greenock Wanderers have a cushion and they would go back to a 20-point advantage if Hogg is able to land this effort. It's in the air, floating through and wide of the uprights. So it remains a 17-point deficit. Berwick trailing in this game. Greenock Wanderers 35 points to 18, and they've scored some really crisp tries in this second half. Greenock, Gareth Hill replying for Berwick as well, and it's been an entertaining contest. This is a final, the nerves are bound to play a part, but both sets of players have served up a very good 66 minutes so far.
Yeah, you just wonder if Greenock will rue those missed opportunities. Berwick have scored the last try, obviously, and they're looking to come back into the game. So can they gain a foothold and look to attack and score more points from here?
Well, it's been a season that's produced at least one very memorable comeback, and back in March, whether Berwick can do something of that ilk remains to be seen. And here at BT Murrayfield, Berwick trailing by 35 points to 18, but they need to get something, and something quickly, and Andrew Skeen trying to lead the line. Wanderers, solid covered defence there, right in there on Ryan Wilson. Berwick still have it though, and looking with an increasing intensity and showing some urgency now. Wanderers penalised again. Berwick get back to their feet, quick tap and go now. Skeen on this right hand side brings Hindhaw into play. Hindhaw now galloping up towards that 10-metre line. There's a Wanderers player down on his haunches as Skeen recycles, brings Grieve into play, spread out towards centre field, and on this left hand side Wanderers just trying to secure their tight defence, Greenock, and it's a pick and go as Berwick's momentum has just slowed ever so slightly. Duncan Hardy goes over, and so too does Adam Hardy, I should say, the replacement scrum half, as Berwick are getting closer to that 22, in between the 10 and the 22, as you get close-in pictures here in the action in the sunshine at BT Murrayfield. Picked up there by the replacement Hardy, that's Adam Hardy, feeding the ball to his left hand side and going in again. Adam Hardy on towards the forwards that are charging up and taking Berwick into the 22. Adam Hardy goes in again, down the blind side. Berwick now getting closer towards this 5-metre line. Lee Douglas was the ball carrier, but I think he's been forced into touch, just running out of room there. Perhaps it was a good idea to try and use some blind side, but it was asking a lot there of Lee Douglas to try and finish things off, and Greenock Wanderers had plenty of players covering back, forcing Douglas into touch.
Yeah, good passes there from Berwick, but they just didn't get the final result. They need to score soon if they want to get a chance of winning this game.
Yeah, 17 points separating these sides. A replacement just been made.
Wanderers leaving the pitch, number 8, the try scorer Martin Lavelle, being replaced
And Martin Lavelle has been replaced by Alistair Abernethy. So Lavelle, one of the try scorers, just a handshake there, and Lavelle making his presence known, scoring that try earlier on in the tie. But on for the closing stages, number 18, Alistair Abernethy. And we've got now 11 minutes of this game to go. Scrummage, Berwick scrum half in that scrum cap there, that's Adam Hardy.
A real attacking opportunity for Berwick here. If they can come up with a good backs play or backs move, they have a real dangerous opportunity to score this try. Hardy
was ready to pick up the ball at the base of the scrum there, but Greenock Wanderers penalised. And Berwick now in a bit of a huddle just before the scrummage here to try and assess what they're going to do. That Gareth Hill try, they really needed to add to that quite soon after to build on the momentum of that score, because it was a converted score, bringing them to 18 points, but it's Greenock Wanderers 35, Berwick 18, and we've just a fraction over 10 minutes of this Shield final on Silver Saturday at BT Murrayfield left to play. Hardy on towards Skeen. Skeen then, a few decoy runners. Hindhaw now coming into play. Hindhaw is tackled. He had Gareth Hill on his outside. Hill stays on his feet there. It's picked up though. Little dummy, that was good play there from Pringle. Berwick going again. In behind is Hardy. Hardy had a glance to his right hand side, brings Skeen into play. Grieve now. Grieve still is going. And that's in there as well as Grieve was Ryan Wilson. The scrum half now. Berwick an opportunity here. Oh, the ball bounces just in front of Ewan Thompson. That was almost cruel there. It was spread wide very quickly. Thompson was trying to read the line of the pass of the ball there. It bounced in front of him. Connor, your thoughts on this great chance for Berwick?
Yeah, it's just gone one thing there. They look to be so close with the pick and goals. I wonder if they just kept it within the 5 metre line around the ruck. They might have gone over, but no, they did get an opportunity to go wide. And when they gone wide, he's just not looked to catch the ball, and maybe he's expected someone outside him, and the ball's dropped in front of him and gone into touch.
Oh, that was a chance for Berwick for sure, and they really needed that, plus the extras to make it a rather nervy closing 9 minutes for Greenock Wanderers. Wanderers remain 17 points in front then, so that's more than 3 converted tries. And of course you look as well at the man of the match this afternoon. We'll bring you that in just a moment, but Greenock Wanderers have had plenty of players on there. Scott Ballou scoring 2 tries. Chris McCarran at fullbacks had a solid game, so too is Martin Lavelle. Brendan McGrorty too, the outside centre. As the ball is fed in to the scrum. Berwick just trying to make a mess of this Greenock scrummage here. Greenock both ends of the ground showing the scoreboard and the clock, and Berwick are having to just watch as Wanderers are just trying to pick and go at the moment. Will they exit using the boot or just go through the hands at the moment? Again, it's the scrum half, McDougall squatting down. Yeah, they're just happy just to run it, just using the power of the forwards. Once more, McDougall down this left hand side, suddenly some space opening up, and Greenock now showing power through the replacements. We're getting some joy down this left hand side. Good work here from the Wanderers. The momentum is slowed up and the ball is made available. Berwick have been penalised though. That was a good break there from Greenock Wanderers originally through Andrew Guthrie, another player that's made a really good contribution.
I think Ali Grieve's pretty unlucky to not get that turnover there. He looked like he was in a strong position and almost the referee couldn't see whether he was on the ball or not. And unfortunately he's been penalised there, and Greenock have been given the opportunity to play further down the field.
Throw in then for Greenock Wanderers. Thrown in by Declan Bolster. Berwick though are able to find a steal, find some urgency. Hardy on towards Skeen. Berwick now up towards halfway, just over. Looking to recycle again quickly through Hardy once more. Skeen back pedals, gets the ball at the moment. He's done very well to stay on the field of play with that back injury. A spilled pass though from Tom Jackson wasn't taken cleanly. Berwick will have the put in. Wanderers have knocked on. It's getting a little bit feisty now. A coming together of a clutch of players. Tempers beginning to fray. First time we've seen that in this game, and there was really very little of that in the bowl final, to be perfectly honest. But high stakes for these sides, because these are afternoons that players at this level will remember for such a long time. Berwick 18, Greenock Wanderers 35 is the scoreline, and we've got about 6 minutes of this game left to play.
Yeah, you wonder if that's just frustration there from the Berwick players. Gets cleared out of a rock and just stands up and looks to slow the play down, which is probably a bit of a negative for his team as they're looking to get back into it.
The referee having a word with one of his touch judges here. Be a shame if any cards are shown at this stage in the game. 2 yellows in the bowl final, one either side. Aberdeenshire incidentally winning that one. Narrow victory in the end, in a very entertaining match against Dundee University Medics. 34 points to 31 in the end for Aberdeenshire. But the referee clearly having a word there. It looks as if Matt Gray has been called over, and I'm just seeing if that's Tom Jackson of Berwick. Andrew Skeen with them as well. I don't think it's going to be anything other than words of wisdom from the man in the middle, Gordy Reid. He's now going to the pocket. He just stops the watch there, so nothing more than that.
Yeah, as I said, they've changed the penalty round, so standing off and getting a fight is definitely putting a negative for his team.
Yeah, reversing the penalty, presenting the opportunity for Wanderers again, but now Wanderers concede and a bit of back chat, and the referee's going to the pocket, and it will be now a yellow card. And is that directed towards, I'm just looking to see if it is Matt Gray, I think, who was in conversation with the referee earlier on. So Wanderers down a man, and he'll be watching on for the remaining few minutes of the game, but his side are leading by 35 points to 18. Matt Gray watching on the Wanderers number 4. Berwick, can they finish with another score? Ewan Thompson, who was almost in earlier on, down this right hand side now. Recycle ball, Skeen again towards the centre field, and this time it was Lee Douglas that took the ball just into a contact situation. Down the left hand side, Jack Dalrymple has already scored a try, scampering up towards the edge of the 22, back central between those two lines at the moment, the 10 and the 22, and it's recycled through Skeen. Floats a long pass out there now. Grieve out towards Gareth, and it's Gareth Hill going to be in again. Gareth Hill scored another try. Oh, he's had an afternoon to remember from a personal point of view. He's flat on his back at the moment. Greenock Wanderers covered defence, including Hugh Davis, was sprawled across the 22. And here, Connor, is a replay of it. He slowed up, he accelerated again. And again, a strong right hand to plant the ball down. A great second half for Gareth Hill, and he'll certainly enjoy those 2 tries he scored.
Yeah, great finish there. He's given the old in out, and he's managed to have a strong finish again in the corner. The conversion attempt, it's drifted wide of the uprights from Andrew Skeen. Berwick 23, Greenock Wanderers 35. They really needed that to bring them back to within 10. It's still going to be a tall order, but again, Gareth Hill takes the congratulations from Tom Jackson.
Awarded to Greenock Wanderers number 13, Brendan McGroarty.
Just see now in the closing stages here if there'll be any final score lines. Berwick 23, Greenock Wanderers 35. Wanderers then with the restart. High up and under. Again, Ryan Wilson just trying to gather. And towards Andrew Skeen. Skeen, delicate left-footed kick, chip kick. Out towards that left-hand side. Recycled again. Berwick trying to come on at pace. Again, they'll want to try and spread it wide. The forwards are in position. Wanderers' defensive cover is good. Remember, Wanderers down a man, and Berwick now, the clock against them. But Ali Grieve, the number 8, galloping up and over that 10-metre line, tackled again. Gareth Hill goes in. Referee allows play to continue. We've got 3 minutes of the final left to play. This Shield final, Berwick have been Shield winners in the past in 2004. Losing the bowl final in 1998, but they've spread it wide, and Berwick are going to finish with a bit of a fight here. They're going to be in. His Hindhaugh going to finish it off. Wanderers certainly open defensively there, and there was nothing doing on this occasion for Berwick, it would seem. Hindhaugh did marvellously well from a Berwick point of view, and Connor, how were Berwick denied?
It looks like the Greenock defender has just got back there and ripped the ball out, but I'm not sure if whether it's gone backwards and that Berwick have actually scored that try.
And there you can see in the bottom left-hand corner confirmation of the man of the match, and it was one of the players we did consider and speculate about. Brendan McGroarty, the outside centre, the Greenock Wanderers midfielder who scored a try in the game. And McGroarty will certainly be one of the Greenock players celebrating. There he is in the picture. He's having a word with the match referee at the moment. So, but in fact, the score is good. So Berwick have they found something there. We did doubt whether Hindhaugh and company had managed to do enough to get the try, but the referee just adding a little bit more drama, and Berwick are closing in on Wanderers, but surely they've no time left to produce a marvellous comeback. Conversion attempt again from out wide, just wide of the uprights. Berwick 28, Greenock Wanderers 35. Wanderers still down a man, and Connor, this sets up a different closing couple of minutes, a much nervier occasion now for these players.
Yeah, we're in for an exciting finish. You know, with 10 minutes to go, we thought Berwick were probably out of it, but they've managed to fight and claw their way back into this game, and a try in the corner puts them in the chance to tie up the game.
So Berwick 28, Greenock Wanderers 35. 2 minutes of the game left to play. Wanderers will just want to try and keep possession of the ball here. 28 points to 35. The margin has narrowed significantly in the last few minutes here, but it's Wanderers in their red, black and yellow hoop jerseys with the dark shorts in possession at the moment. They'll want to just play down the clock just now. Matt Gray watching on in the sin bin, yellow carded just a short time ago. He won't be back on now for the conclusion of this game. But Dougal just bringing the forwards into play, a clutch of them that have come off the bench to try and just see Greenock Wanderers over the line. There's the man of the match, McGroarty now, spread out towards this right hand side again, scampering as Scott Blue scored 2 tries. He would be another player considered for the man of the match award, I'm sure. McGroarty's done ever so well in the midfield. Berwick try and keep a neat and tidy defence, but they're desperate for possession of the ball. They're back to within 7 points of their Greenock-based opponents. Berwick 28, Greenock Wanderers 35, and we're into the final minute of the game here. McGroarty is awarded the man of the match. Wanderers have almost a hand in the trophy. The shield is up for grabs. It will be presented to one of these sides in just a short while, and Wanderers, who've been beaten here twice in the recent past, could well just be there or thereabouts this time around. Ali Grieve gets back to his feet. All the action you can see inside the Berwick half of the field at the moment. They pick and go, do Wanderers. Berwick have mounted a marvellous comeback here. Wanderers take the ball in to contact and don't release, and Anders Skeen now leads the drive on here. One final push for Berwick down this left hand side. They've got to try and back themselves. Wanderers will want to spread them wide and force them into touch. The clock shows we've played 80 minutes. Drama here on Silver Saturday. Berwick 28, Greenock Wanderers 35. This is the last action of the game. Last chance saloon for Hindhaugh and Berwick. And Hindhaugh almost runs into one of his teammates there. Grieve takes the ball on over that 10-metre line. Finds Hill, who's on a hat-trick of tries. Hill is lateral. Hill straightens up. Hill down the centre. Hill still going. Wanderers now just trying to organise the defence again. Once more, Berwick, Hardy, the scrum half there. Wanderers are penalised once again. This could be an extraordinary end to the final. Whatever happens here, Berwick and Greenock have served up a very, very enjoyable 80 minutes of rugby. The last play now, surely, taken on by Ryan Wilson, the hooker. Berwick up towards that 22. Recycled again. Berwick pick and go. Wanderers with that tight defence, led by the experience of Hogg, Graham Hogg, who's kicked many points for Wanderers this afternoon. They had a gap of 20 points, then 17 points. It's down to 7 now. Connor, who's your money on?
Well, we're in for some finish. You just wonder if the experience of Berwick can shine through here and they can possibly go on to get that last chance.
They need this with the last action of the game, and it's taken on there by Paul Pringle. almost a forward roll here. The Berwick supporters are on their feet just now. Andrew Skeen, Skeen's going for the line, and Skeen managed to get to the pads in just a fraction short there. Berwick so near. Berwick try and go again. The referee Gordon Reid has a long hard look. A huddle of players right underneath those posts. This is what Silver Saturday drama is all about. They're going to be in Berwick for a score. They touchdown. Jubilation for Berwick. The referee has signalled, and he now signals the score. Berwick has scored a try to bring them within 2 points of Greenock Wanderers with this kick to come. 33 points to 35, and it's Scott Owens who scores the try. This is the drama that spectators came hoping for. Andrew Skeen has to land this to take it into extra time. Connor, here's a replay of the score.
Yeah, you know, it's last minute stuff. Everyone piled in around the post, and then when you least expect it, they ship it wide and manage to get that try. But all the pressure is now on that man with the bright green boots, Andrew Skeen.
Skeen then, the 35-year-old, all his experience now comes down to landing this kick to take it into extra time for Berwick. Skeen, who's had a back injury this afternoon. All eyes inside BT Murrayfield on Andrew Skeen. Here he goes then. Greenock Wanderers rush out. Berwick flies and Berwick celebrates Skeen's kick. And Berwick have found something. They've found something extraordinary to level the game at 35 points all. And this game is going into extra time. And all credit to Berwick. We talked about mighty comebacks this season. Well, this must be right up there because they were like Rocky on the ropes, but they found something to level at 35 points all, and Greenock will have to do it all again. They've been in a winning possession in this game, and Berwick have taken it to extra time, and this is the magic of Silver Saturday here at BT Murrayfield.
Cool as you like, Andrew Skeen with the pressure on him in the last minute, slots the kick straight through the post there. It will be interesting to see if Berwick can carry that momentum forward and look to score even more tries as they had the chance here.
So with this, my understanding is that it'll be the first scorer will decide the contest. That is certainly what they've adopted in the past, and this is, well, this is the magic of cup finals. This is the magic of sport, regardless of whatever sport you play. So 35 points all. Here's an illustration of Berwick's determination. Hindhall with the pass here. Gareth Hill has been around Berwick forever. That was Gareth Hill's first try, and that set Berwick up. Hill, the bounce of the ball, he did not, well, he managed just to get over and no more. He's saying my foot was not in touch there. And again, it was spread wide here. Ali Grieve on towards Gareth Hill. Gareth Hill, what about this for a bit of mazy running here from the right winger? And that try really set up a grandstand finish. And it was Scott Owens, the big number 5, who landed the try, converted by Skeen, that takes it to extra time.
Yeah, we've got a golden goal type situation. The nerves of all the players will definitely be in shreds, but we'll see who's got the most composure now and who can finish the deal off.
There's a replay of the Scott Owens try, and Owens scoring the try, much to the disbelief there of Callum Robb. And Rob there, the Wanderers number 20, watching on as Skeen has managed to convert there.
10 minutes each way, extra time.
So the ball. So rather than adopting the golden try format, it will be a further 10 minutes each way for these sides. They've tried both in the past, but they are going for a period of 10 minutes each way. Berwick in these black jerseys, black shorts and socks with the white numbers. Greenock in their yellow, black and red jerseys with the black shorts and the white numbers on the backs. And extra time about to get underway here, but this is what Silver Saturday, as we're saying, is all about, and many of these spectators now in the ground will have interest in Ayr and Heriots in the cup final, which may start a little bit later now. Sure it will, as a consequence of this extra time period, and this is energy sapping stuff for these players on what isn't the warmest of afternoons, certainly up here in the West Stand. But Andrew Skeen and the Berwick players and all the Greenock Wanderers players will certainly be pretty tired out there, I would imagine. Into extra time then, Skeen with that restart kick, juggled, almost gathered in by Berwick's number 20, Paul Pringle. So these sides have time in which to build some phases and just to edge their way into the period of extra time, and they don't have to worry about just one score winning the whole contest.
Although they probably don't have to worry about that, the nerves will still definitely be there. 20 minutes to decide the final score. It should surely be Berwick who have the momentum here.
Certainly you would think so. That energy will have taken them into the extra time period, and how it was celebrated. Andrew Skeen on to Dalrymple. Dalrymple is caught there. Good solid defensive work here from Wanderers. And now towards the Berwick hooker, taken on to Ryan Wilson. Is anybody just joining us coverage in preparation for the cup final between Heriots and Ayr? We're into a period of extra time here, 35 points all, 10 minutes each way, so we've played just over a minute of the first period of extra time. Berwick and Hindhaugh in possession of the ball. This the Shield final here, extra time. Andrew Skeen finds his man there down the heart of the pitch. Berwick again look to try and recycle through Hardy. Skeen again, Skeen straightens up, perhaps doesn't quite have the pace he had a few years ago, but Berwick again through the hands of the hooker there, Ryan Wilson. They've got the advantage here and they're peppering this Greenock Wanderers 22. Wanderers had a 20-point lead in the game, but they'll fancy that they could still have the better of Berwick. But it's Berwick on the charge at the moment, and it's the man Scott Owens who certainly scored that wonderful try right at the very end. Skeen, that try converted by Skeen took us into the extra time period, and now Hogg just belts the ball forward there, but Greenock Wanderers had already knocked the ball forward, so Berwick with the put in here. And Wanderers do look a little bit shell-shocked, and Berwick in this opening period of extra time, now 2.5 minutes old, seem to look like a side that are going to try and take the bull by the horns here, the upper hand, and get themselves in front.
Yeah, with 12 minutes to go, they definitely looked like they had the game in the bag, but you just wonder if maybe complacency set in a bit, and they got a bit carried away and they thought they'd already won the game, and you saw Berwick manage to turn the game in its head, and they've managed to get back into this, and it was almost Berwick who looked like they didn't know how to deal with Greenock scoring their tries, but it almost feels as the tables have turned.
Wanderers then watching on as Andrew Skeen again places the ball in the tee. This kick would give Berwick the lead, 35 all. At the moment, all eyes on Andrew Skeen. A slightly different pressured kick to the one that ensured they reached extra time. This would give them a lead and something to build on in the extra time period. Here he goes then, left-footed, Andrew Skeen, the bright yellow boots. Strikes it well, and it's good. The touch judges had a long hard look at that one again, but Berwick are in front by 38 points to 35. And the Berwick contingent of supporters have made their way up from the northeast of England, many of them based in the Scottish borders and Northumberland. The hour-and-a-half drive has been well worth it from a Berwick point of view thus far. Graham Hogg having a word with the referee Gordy Reid there, but certainly Greenock Wanderers will just want to regroup, refocus and get themselves very much back into the groove in this contest. The restart kick there by Andrew Guthrie.
Number 3, Andrew Graham.
And you can see that Andrew Graham, I think, has come off the field of play. We'll get confirmation of that as well. Matt Gray, of course, has come back on the field of play. So the Greenock Wanderers starting the extra time period a man down because they had a man yellow carded in the final 10 minutes of normal time, are back to a full complement. Connor was forgetting that Berwick starting a man up in the extra time period.
Yep, that's probably what allowed Berwick to get back in the game. Matt Gray's sending off due to back chat and dissent. Allowed Berwick to get a foothold in the game, and Andy McGroarty's away here.
McGroarty on again towards the left winger. Scott Ballew's on a hat-trick of tries, so too's Berwick's Gareth Hill. Berwick leading by 3 points, but it's Greenock Wanderers now on the front foot, showing a bit more initiative here going forward. McDougall's been a thorn in the Berwick side all afternoon. The momentum again has dropped just ever so slightly, but it's Wanderers now playing towards those south posts, as all eyes are just peering towards the right hand side and watching Wanderers now playing some crash ball as Berwick keep a tight mobile defence. There's a real animated group of Berwick and of Greenock Wanderers players, replacements, coaching staff that are dancing around on hot coals in their respective technical areas now, as this is just increasing in interest and intensity and anxiety as well, as the extra time period now creeps up towards 6 minutes. So of course, if you were tuning in for coverage of the cup final, that will be coming up between Ayr and Heriots, but it's been delayed as a consequence of the Shield final going into extra time. Aberdeenshire winners of the Bowl, defeating Dundee University Medics in a closely fought and entertaining Bowl final, and it's Greenock who are trailing Berwick by 38 points to 35 in extra time here in the cup final. Connor.
Yeah, Berwick have managed to gain a really key penalty there on their own try line. Brave defence from them. We'll see if they can exit and look to play further up in Greenock's half, as surely they won't want to play around here.
So another set play, Berwick scrummage, and it's again Adam Hardy who's come on during the second half and will be involved in this extra time period. 10 minutes each way, and we're eating into the opening 10 minutes. Berwick with a narrow advantage shown on the scoreboard just at the top left hand corner of the screen. Ali Grieve then again, Hardy. Are they going to use Skeen on a left-footed exit? They do just that. Skeen plays it left-footed, spinning kick, and it finds touch just on top of some of the Berwick coaching staff. Greenock coming all the way over there, the left winger. Just a little altercation with some of the Berwick coaching staff there. That was Scott Ballew coming off the field just to try and gather to play the throw-in quite quickly. But Scott Ballew there, who scored the 2 tries, the referee now having a word with him. Tempers beginning to fray somewhat because Skeen had played the ball into touch. It floated right into the Berwick technical area, and Ballew was wanting to take the quick throw-in. Nothing doing though. Wanderers now, oh, that's a throw-in that drifted the way of Berwick, and Berwick now, the pendulum beginning to swing in their favour, you would think, but there's still time for Greenock, no question. Skeen on again down that right hand side, bringing in the likes of Aidan Rosie into play, and across on the right hand side once more. Berwick now foraging up towards the 10 metre line inside Greenock territory. Skeen again on once more towards Ryan Wilson. Wilson is just held up short of the 10 metre line. Hardy once more on towards Skeen. Rather high challenge coming in there. The referee, as he signalled advantage, that seemed to catch the throat. Maybe no real intent there, but it's taken on by Adam Hardy now down the centre. Recycled, handling not so good from Berwick's point of view. Connor, you were a little bit surprised the referee didn't bring play back for that high challenge. As go again?
Well, I think he actually viewed that as it hit him around the shoulders, and then he penalised Berwick, in fact, for coming into the side of that ruck. But you know, tempers are flaring as you see that touchdown incident. Everyone's a bit on edge, and I think as the game gets on, it's only going to get worse, and the nerves are definitely creeping in.
There's certainly an edge to this game as a consequence of the dust-up which led to the yellow card and the experienced Matt Gray being in the sin bin for the closing stages. But he's back on now, and Greenock now have got a bit more determination about them. Murray MacDonald, the loose head prop up and just over that 10-metre line, and Berwick are aware of the threat posed by Greenock. The penalty's been conceded by Berwick, and Greenock again taking a quick tap and go. McDougall now out towards this left-hand side, again looking for McGroarty. He's a maker and a finisher inside that 22. Some recycle ball coming here. Berwick on to try and secure some turnover. Have they managed to win the turnover? Berwick, champions of course in their own division, have turned over. Skeen again just leathers it left-footed, bounces just short of halfway and goes into touch, and Berwick again exit without conceding any points, Connor.
Yep, chance of Skeen from the Berwick supporters just down below us. I think they've viewed that he's played pretty well so far, and he puts in a good kick to get Berwick out of their 5-metre line all the way down to the halfway.
Drama continues at BT Murrayfield in Silver Saturday's Shield final between Berwick and Greenock. It's been stolen by Grieve. Grieve now the tip kick ahead, and Berwick, is it going to land to Grieve again? And he's over for the score! Ali Grieve, Berwick's number 8. The chip kick, he gathered it. There was a little bit hesitation about which of the players was going to gather the bouncing ball. He was alongside Paul Pringle. Pringle left it for the big number 8. And he's a man who's been around a long time with Melrose and now with Berwick. And what about this delicate kick forward there from a back row forward? And he gathered and touched down. And Wanderers had covered back. Callum Harrison had just too much to do. And Berwick are now in front by 43 points to 35. And we've played the full opening 10 minutes of this first period of extra time, and it's belonged to Berwick.
Yeah, that'll be a great one to show his grandkids. Breaks the line, one-on-one with the fullback, and he decides to go for it. He chips the ball over his head. And then Paul Pringle comes out of nowhere to look to collect the ball, but he says, no, you know what, you've done all the hard work, you can have the try. And Ali Grieve goes over to put Berwick at 43-35 up.
Andrew Skeen then on the angle. The evergreen Andrew Skeen required again for the conversion attempt. Ali Grieve with the Berwick try, the latest score. Skeen's just wide of the upright. We always have to almost hesitate and look. Have a long look to the touch judges who've been a little slow in raising their flags, but it's Andrew Skeen. A replay of that conversion attempt there from Skeen. Again, it's never going to be too far wide of the uprights. It was weighted nicely, but nothing doing for Skeen this time. 43 points to 35. So what's crucial about that, I suppose, Connor, is Berwick are more than a converted try in front, but an early score for Greenock, and some of the initiative shown by the likes of McGroarty in the 80 minutes of play, and they'd be right back in the contest.
Yeah, I think they need to get their big players like McGroarty back into it. He's looked very dangerous when he's had ball in hand, but we've just not seen him as much in the last 10 minutes. If they can get players like him on the ball to get them gain line, they've got more than enough chance to get back into this. Berwick will look to work on that, keep pushing forward, but I'm unsure whether or not Greenock are going to get back into this.
Greenock Wanderers scrum half. Andrew McDougall, I think, is the player receiving a little bit of treatment. He's just away from his huddle of teammates there. Berwick also in a huddle. So just get a chance to see the score again right on the edge of half-time and extra time here. Here's Ali Grieve again, a very delicate kicker, and don't see him do this all that often, but occasionally in the past it's worked for him. Delicate kick there, and he touches down alongside him is Paul Pringle. Here it is again, Connor. Really deft touch for a big number 8.
Yeah, got good feet for a big man.
So one final cheer, one final exercising of the vocal cords from the Greenock Wanderers and the Berwick supporters as the final instalment of this enthralling contest, the second period of extra time. 10 minutes left to play, and it's Berwick 43, Greenock Wanderers 35. And it's Greenock then that are able to gather the ball in from that restart kick. So they are now having to chase the game. Andrew McDougall, who is receiving a little bit of treatment there, feeding the ball on towards Graham Hogg. Hogg's done well. McGrorty also in the centre alongside Harrison. Greenock looking to recycle again through McDougall. Once more up towards the middle of the park. And these sides have certainly served up a bit of a classic here at BT Murrayfield this afternoon. McDougall again on towards Hogg. Hogg was challenged there as the ball bounced in front of Callum Robb. On now towards Ballou. Scott Ballou, who got involved in that extra time dust up in the Berwick technical area. And again, Wanderers are inside the 22. They need something, and fairly quickly as well, as the legs will be tiring here. We've played now a minute of the second period of extra time, but Wanderers have come flying out the blocks here. What they've needed to do. Hogg on interception, and Berwick now could well be away down the heart of the field. Could this well be the try that secures the final? The Shield could well be heading to Steverston. He touches down, he can't quite believe it. It's the Berwick number 11, Jack Dalrymple, who showed an excellent balance and side swivel in the first half to score a try. He's run more than half the length of the field. The interception pass, I think it was Hogg's pass that he managed to cut through here. We'll see it again, Hogg's pass, and there he was away. Jack Dalrymple down the heart of the field. You could tell he was looking over 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Legs going 10 to the dozen there, and there he is. Oh, how about that? 48-35, Connor.
Yep, he just read it all the way. Hogg kind of floated a pass and he picked it straight out, and it was him and McGrorty with a 60-metre race for the line, but he managed to pull ahead and made to go over for Berwick's possibly winning try.
Skene adds the extras, and Berwick have reached 50 points. Well, we did refer to that final back in 1996, that in the duration of the final produced 100 points. Well, we've got 85 points here, and we've still got about 7.5 minutes of extra time left to play. But Greenock now very much up against it, and that breakaway Jack Dalrymple try, that's 2 tries for Dalrymple on the left wing, 2 for Gareth Hill on the right. And Berwick, a team on the ropes in this final. Wanderers were so close in normal time to securing the victory, and now it's a mighty ask for the team from Greenock to come back from this, and they'll certainly be making the journey west with much to think about, whatever the outcome this afternoon, that's for sure. Here we go, Andrew Skene then just plants the ball into touch. Skene, his kick takes Berwick back into Wanderers territory, just on that edge of that 10-metre line. And what must it be like, Connor? You've been, I'm sure, in games before where you've watched your opponents build up an advantage. You've maybe been 20 points behind, and then 17 points behind, and then suddenly you find yourself 15 points in front. It's been an incredible turnaround.
Yeah, they've probably just stuck to their processes, worked on doing the next job, and you know they've got the results from it. I think Greenock have given everything, but they've also just become complacent in that second half of the game, and they've allowed Berwick to get back into it and go ahead. Nothing's going their way at the moment.
Those heading back to Fort Matilda are here still cheering on Greenock Wanderers, because they will play to a finish, that is for sure. And they themselves, if they could get another converted try on the board in the next few minutes, it would set up another nervy grandstand finish. We had that in normal time, and we're in the second period of extra time. People tuning in for live coverage of the cup final between Ayr and Heriots. That will be coming up very, very shortly. But of course, the Shield final that you're watching just now, this is the second period of extra time, and we've got just over 5 minutes of extra time left to play. some injuries out there on the pitch, some exhausted players also. It's Berwick 50, Greenock Wanderers 35. It was 35 all at the conclusion of the 80 minutes. And Berwick, well, Connor, you felt yourself they would be the team with the spring in their step to come out into extra time and to take the game by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, I think that yellow card for the Greenock captain, Matt Grays, has definitely given Berwick an advantage coming into this extra time period. To start this added time with a man up, they definitely had the advantage, and they managed to get over some early tries, which allowed them to really grasp the game by the scruff of the neck.
Drama, silver Saturday style here at BT Murrayfield. One or two clouds beginning to roll in, but you can see much of the pitch bathed in spring sunshine as Berwick and Greenock have served up an absolute classic. And Greenock Wanderers handling just going astray. It's been picked up by Andrew Skeen. Wanderers, this would just be further salt in the wounds for them if Berwick were to score another try at this stage in the game. With just over 4 minutes of the contest left to play. Just watching as Wanderers take it up towards the edge of the 22, their own 22 just now. This is what they need to do, perhaps maybe find a break on here. Like Sir Martin Lavelle, who scored some tries from deep line positions. There's Hogg again, little 1-2, the ball bounced, interception, Andrew Skeen was almost on that.
Replaced and returning number 12, Duncan Hardy.
So you can see Duncan Hardy of Berwick has come back on the field of play as a cloud just obscures the sun at the moment, and it just now comes to a rather dull pitch. It's actually, you feel for the cameramen and those that are trying to film the final, but it's a little clearer now to see the players as they set up this scrummage. 21 and 22 alongside each other. 21 is Adam Hardy of Berwick, and 22 is Michael McLaren of Greenock Wanderers. Picked up there by Callum Robb. Robb still going. Robb, this is better play from Wanderers. They couldn't just find clean hands there, and it's Dalrymple again. Dalrymple, does he have any pace left to burn? He's up towards the edge of halfway, and again it's just caught as it comes back through the hands there, initially through Andrew Skeen. Just trying to build up some play. Skeen again just positions himself once more, taken forward by the big Berwick number 4, Tommy McCall. It's a big afternoon for him as well, another stalwart, a bit like Gareth Black. Now here we go once again, taken on, it's the number 9 of Berwick, Cameron Rogerson on this right hand side. Started as a scrum half, now sort of operating as an exhausted right winger. They're scrapping for everything here. Skeen again, this would be the icing on the cake. Skeen kicks the ball ahead, it bounces over Skeen's head. He's a short squat figure, only about 5 foot 8 inches tall, and there's Berwick players hands and hips just now. They're looking up, a clock showing we've just under 3 minutes of this second period of extra time left to play. Berwick 50, Greenock Wanderers 35. The cup final to follow between Ayr and Heriots. That will start just a little bit later as a consequence of this being in the second period of a 20-minute period of extra time. 2 10-minute segments. That was surely a forward pass, but a referee allowing play to continue. Tommy McCall was able to snaffle the ball in. In behind him is Hardy. Skeen again, the little grubber kick just clattering off one of the Greenock Wanderers players. I think it was Matt Gray that got in the way there. The referee is signalling, I think, another infringement as he's having a word. He's now signalled the knock on, so it will be Wanderers with the put in. And Connor, we've got about 2 minutes of this game left to play. We've not been involved down in the pitch, but we're not going to forget this one in a while.
No, both teams are definitely out on their feet. You know, they've given everything to this game, and 20 minutes of extra time is definitely taking its toll. You see the open rugby that they're playing now, is everyone's just exhausted. All the systems are gone, all the patterns of play are gone. It's literally just who wants it more now.
Well, Berwick have certainly watched Greenock boss much of this game, but they've had the upper hand in extra time of Berwick, and Berwick now are getting closer and closer towards lifting silverware here. Shield winners back in 2004, and it looks as if they're going to do it, and it looks as if it's going to be further Murrayfield heartache for Greenock Wanderers, a side that have had 3 trips here to the National Stadium, and on now 3 occasions it would seem are going to come away as the bridesmaids. Berwick again, Skeen receiving the pass there from Hardy, takes it up towards that 10-metre line. There's a Wanderers player and a Berwick player flat out in the field just at the moment. Once more down the left hand side, Berwick perhaps opening up here. Suggestions of offside could well have been. The referee just comes back into position as Wanderers now. One final flurry and one final foray perhaps into Berwick 22 territory, but it's a tough ask. McGrorty, the man of the match, he's had a quiet extra time period. His centre partner Callum Harrison goes in to try and support him. Berwick looking to win some turnover ball, comes back through the hands of Hogg. Cries of Berwick and also cries of Wanderers as well, and Greenock around the National Stadium, and the referee has spotted the injured player is just in the heart of the pitch, needing some attention here. He stops the clock 22 seconds before the end of the game, and certainly the concern is very much with the player down receiving a bit of treatment at the moment. Connor, this is never a nice sign to see, and this happened of course at the tail end of the final of the bowl as well, when the man of the match on that occasion was stretchered off the field of play.
Yeah, it's obviously not nice to see an injury at the end of the game, but both teams are really looking to finish this game off. But you just think that with 22 seconds to go, Berwick got this wrapped up. There's probably no way now that Greenock Wanderers can get back into this, and it looks like it will be Berwick heading back down the road with the trophy.
Berwick got that journey down to Scremerston, just over 60 miles here from the National Stadium, and it's a town very proud history. A rowing club dating back to 1869, a football club dating back to 1881, the rugby club celebrating the 50th anniversary, Berwick Speedway as well, just 51 years old, and Greenock Wanderers making perhaps one final replacement then, as the injured player back to his feet and has been helped off the field of play. 22 seconds of the match left to play, and Wanderers, well, they can scarcely believe this, I suppose, and it's the left winger Scott Blue who scored 2 tries, has just left the field of play at the moment. The scrummage then, the put in, and it's Michael McLaren who feeds the ball into the scrum. Recycled again, Wanderers once more. Hogg back in field. We've now played the second portion of 20 minutes. Berwick are just going to get rid of this surely, or are they going to finish with another try? It's carried forward there by Ryan Wilson, and we've played the conclusion of the second period of extra time. It's been snatched, and Adam Hardy on towards Andrew Skeen. Andrew Skeen touches down, and well, perhaps from a Berwick point of view, that's a perfect finish. Andrew Skeen, who's been the architect of so much this afternoon, at 35 years old, you think he's perhaps seen and done it all. 55 points to 35, and Andrew Skeen is the try scorer. And well, that's surely the icing on the cake, or the cockles as they call them in Berwick, with Skeen scoring that latest try.
17 points down in real time, and you just thought Berwick were out of it, but they've managed to fight their way back from almost death and come straight back into it. And it's that man Andrew Skeen who tops it off with his last conversion to win the game for Berwick.
A drop goal conversion, Berwick. There are players on their knees, there are players celebrating, none of the energy to jump the height of themselves in celebration. Greenock Wanderers then also coming on, warm handshakes all round. Berwick 57, Greenock Wanderers 35. All credit to both these sides. They've served up a fantastic 100 minutes of rugby here at the National Stadium, and there's been some unforgettable finals in the past. That one, Connor, is right up there.
Yeah, what a final we had here. We've had 2 teams go at it for 100 minutes almost, and both teams have given absolutely everything players out of their feet. You see all the players were on their knees at the end there. That's because they've literally got nothing left. You know, it could have gone either way. We thought Greenock Wanderers would win it in real time, but it's actually Berwick RFC who've come away with the win at the end.
Berwick 57, Greenock Wanderers 35. Brendan McGrorty, the Greenock Wanderers centre, was awarded man of the match, but Berwick will leave and will head back to Scremerston down the A1 with the silverware.
Greenock have almost been unlucky. I thought, you know, the scoreline probably doesn't resemble what's been a really tight fought contest. I believe that you know, both teams have been outstanding form of rugby today, and you know, although Berwick have got 57 points to 35, it was definitely a lot closer than the scoreline suggests.
Warm applause from both sets of supporters, those that have come through from Fort Matilda, those that have come up the A1 from Scremerston, and as we said, this a hugely deserved show of appreciation from the lower section of the West Stand here, as Greenock just walked through a line of Berwick players, thoughts of what might have been for them. That score right at the very end, Scott Owen's try converted by Andrew Skeen in the 80th minute to take us to extra time. And what a week Berwick have had. They had their own sevens last Sunday at Scremerston. They've celebrated their 50th year with promotion, and now they've won one of the most memorable finals at BT Murrayfield. And the respective players then just move into huddles of black jerseys, huddles of red, yellow and black hoop jerseys. Very different thoughts, and if you're on the winning side after a game like this, you're completely jubilant. If you're on the losing side,
has it sunk
you're
in yet?
disappointed.
No, I'm just trying to catch my breath. That is an absolutely exceptional result. You know, we came here today, we knew that Greenock would bring a big side and that we might go down early doors, but we trusted in our belief, and look at the scoreboard, 57-35 after 10 minutes.
Not sure if you know, but you've scored 39 unanswered points in the second half and into that extra time.
Yeah, we knew we've got it in the tank. I'm just so proud of the boys, you know, to play that amount of rugby on a hot day like this at BT Murrayfield. I'm just proud. I'm just lost for words. It's brilliant.
What type of reaction do you think you're going to get back in Berwick from that? I'm sure there'll be some sort of party in Berwick tonight, what does that mean to Berwick and the club?
Well, it's a big season for us. It's our 50th anniversary season. We've got a real good mix of young and old in the team, and you know, this was literally the cherry on the top of the cake. I'm sure we might have one or two beers tonight, you know, get the bus back to the club and just have a quiet one, I think.
Well, congratulations, and I'll let you join the rest of your team for the celebrations.
Cheers.
There of Tom Jackson speaking to Lindsay Smith down track side, and Lindsay catching up with the tight head prop. Tom Jackson really reflecting the mood in the Berwick camp, and I don't know how quiet a one it'll be at Scremerston a bit later on.
Yeah, I'm kind of positive they're not going to have a quiet one anymore. That bus journey back will definitely be one for the ages.
Certainly will be. The local newspapers here as well. Some pages of the Sunday newspapers will be capturing images down below, as I'd imagine there's the presentation about to take place. The Greenock players are in a line. They'll be the first to receive their runners-up medals, and they'll be led up. I think Matt Gray is in position just to line up these Greenock Wanderers players. He must be hugely proud of the effort, but how close were they? That try scored by Scott Owens in the 80th minute, converted by Andrew Skeen. That's how close it was, and they will certainly perhaps rue some missed opportunities, but what a contribution they've made this afternoon to this final. Here he comes then, Greenock Wanderers led by Matt Gray, receiving his runners-up medals, and Greenock, everyone to a man, has made a fantastic contribution and almighty effort to this final.
Yeah, you know, they've got a lot to be proud for. They probably went into the last 10 minutes thinking they were ahead and they had it on the bag, but they've just got unlucky, and Berwick have kind of crawled back into it. They just let their heads get too far up. So I think you know, you can't really let teams like Berwick get away with scoring 39 unanswered points, and they'll go away. They'll be proud of the performance, but they know what they have to work on and they know what they can come back with.
There in our picture is Graham Hogg, brother of Stuart, just receiving his runners-up medal, and he barely wants it put over his neck there. He'll be again bitterly disappointed, but these players have a lot to be proud of, and I'm sure with renewed determination they'll be there or thereabouts in future seasons, looking to try and come back and finally be winners here at Murrayfield. That's 3 finals for Greenock, and they lost in 2005, 2010 and now 2019 in the Bowl and in the Shield. Final few Greenock players just making their way down, everyone to a man involved in the final, as their coaching staff would want them to be, and of course refereed in this final Gordy Reid along with Fergus Hollins and Alan Parry. They will receive their medals for being very much part of this occasion, as the scoreboard already showing Heriots and Ayr, and 3:30 on a Saturday afternoon. If you're just tuning in, Callum Patterson will be with you very shortly with commentary of the cup final between Ayr and Heriots, and another instalment this afternoon on Silver Saturday. Of course, Ayr and Heriots, 2 sides that have contested playoff finals, cup finals and big domestic matches in the recent past, along with Melrose, perhaps the 3 most dominant club sides in the last decade or so. But now it's the town of Berwick, a town that is certainly a proud sporting history, and the supporters that have made their way up the A1 will have much to applaud as these Berwick players climb the steps at BT Murrayfield to collect the trophy and begin the celebrations in their 50th year, with promotion guaranteed some time ago now. All smiles on the faces of the Berwick players. We heard just moments ago from Tom Jackson. We watched just a short time ago Berwick's mercurial Andrew Skeen running in for the final try. You can see one of the players there with his bleach blonde hairstyle, Ewan Thompson, puffing out his cheeks, receiving his winner's medal. He came on, he was number 17, he came on. Gareth Hill with a big smile on his face as well, just about to receive his medal as well. 2 second-half tries for Gareth Hill in normal time. And Connor, a great moment for these players.
Yeah, you see how much it means to you. People like Gareth Hill have been at the club for so long. To finally go back down that road with silverware, it means a lot for them. You know, they've been through everything today. They've been through the highs of winning, but they've also been through the lows of being so far behind. And we were talking about, you know, they hadn't been used to that because they've won all their games this season. But you know what? They've had the composure and they've had the experience through players like Ali Grieve, Andrew Skeen, to come back and put a win on their resume.
Andrew Skeen with family in tow, little close up there, and little girl gets the medal. Quite right, he's got quite the collection, whether it be in the club 15s game or in 7s. And this is the moment, they're collecting themselves together and they will raise, there's the prize that they've been praying for. Tom Jackson, he perhaps thought this was a moment he would never enjoy when his side were trailing by 20 points earlier in the day. But Jackson and Berwick are victorious and winners of the BT Shield here at the National Stadium. 2019 winners of the BT Shield. A monumental 100 minutes of rugby. And they did enough in the end to defeat a Greenock Wanderers side that are pitch side watching on, thinking of what might have been. And Connor, a final word from you on 100 minutes. This cup final between Ayr and Heriots is a lot to live up to now.
Yeah, you know what, 100 minutes of rugby is a lot, and both teams have given absolutely everything. You know, Berwick have come out on top.
They're the champions.